Hello, hello. Welcome to Audio Addiction. It is your boy Brandon. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. It's been a little bit since the last stream, so thanks for coming through. We had a little bit of a last minute change. We were originally going to do Golden Child Part 2, but Jazz had some family emergency come up, so best wishes to Jazz. Hopefully her and her family are doing okay. Um, but yeah, we had a little bit of a switch up for tonight. So if you were expecting Golden Child Part 2, apologies. We'll have to do it another time. But yeah, we're doing some new stuff. I don't know what we're doing tonight. I feel like I have to have chat dictate it since um you know we're kind of at a standstill a little bit. So um Kaylee, hello. Sarah, hello. Kala, hello. Gunky, hello. Sally, hello. Kaylee says, I'm here for once this week. That's, yeah, very cool. Unhi, hello. Biscuit, hello. So, yeah, I don't have anything planned particularly. So, we can do what y'all would be interested in. Could do albums. We could do a chaos stream. We could do anything. So, Gunky says, a new NMIXX song is a 10 out of 10. Hey, let's go. Um, Sarah says, I'm finally sorting all my picks before class. Hey, that's true. Very nice. Best of luck. Album could be fun. It's true. I got 2 for album. So if anybody opposes, then let me know. Because I don't got anything. Connie, hello. Thank you. Thank you for sending me that, Connie. We will let me know when you're available. We'll do BAP. Cal says, I'd be down for albums. All right. I think we got basically 4 people said album. So Hooney says down with whatever. Let's go. Love to see it. So, all right. I guess if there are no objections, we can do albums. Connie says I'm always free whenever you can. I I appreciate it, Connie. All right. We'll have to plan it out. But also, I have to make service announcement. First of all, if you're new and you're watching this and it seems a little bit jambled, we do these live on Twitch. So come through 8 p.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday. But I know we have Halloween coming up, so if you got some spooky songs, I feel like I'm gonna do that probably the last Wednesday of the month. So that would give us about 2 weeks from now. So if you or 2 weeks from this Wednesday. So if you've got some spooky stuff or spooky songs that we can listen to for said holiday, um, that'd be sick. I will also be dressing up, so definitely excited. I'll have to post in Discord. Excuse me, Discord. So, um, if you're part of Discord, you'll get to access it early. So, Connie says, "Oh, oh wait, it can't be this weekend because I go to see Suju. Very nice. It is not going to be this weekend. I have other plans this weekend, so I'm not going to be here. But Sally says Halloween is my favorite holiday. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I hope you will all dress up and that'd be sick. Gunky says, I think you should react to the new NMIXX album. I'm curious about your reaction to it. Of course, YDBB NMIXX is always jumps ahead. That's true. That's true. All right, cool. Well, I am a man of the people, so I will pull up my Spotify and get that going. So hope all you are doing well. Appreciate it. We did not stream Saturday. Unfortunately, no Santa was also not free this weekend, so we're just down people sometimes, and that happens. So, but I'm excited. I think this is I want to say this is my third Halloween. It's got to be. I'm pretty sure it's my third Halloween that I've done this, so I'm very excited. Let's see. Callus says I vote for the Neo SION album. It's very different from his previous stuff, and not my sound as much, but still great album. Sarah says I'm so tired. I was busy this weekend. Good busy, but still tired. And Kaylee says I know it is busy. It is busy. We can listen to Haechan's record. All right, cool. I've got some. Well, Gunky was the first one to lock in, so we'll do NMIXX. I'm very curious. I will get the MV pulled up because I feel like we have done that, so I will pull it up. NMIXX. Oop, I cannot spell today. NMIXX. I know Blue Valentine's the new one. So, let's see. Gunky says, need to give you some information. Sally says, I hope we get the chance to listen. 17's going 17 out. We can do that. I've got a couple. So we'll do NMIXX, SION, Haechan, and 17. Okay. This follows the same theme as pre-release Love and Hate. Okay, very cool. All right, I will put this down here, and we will watch the MV first, and then we will switch over to the album, since that seems to be the move. So, also don't pay too much attention to the video. You'll be confused. Okay. I will also get NMIXX loaded up on my Spotify. Okay, perfect. All right. Let's get the MV going. I mean, wow, that is Jesus. That is ear piercing.
You always be my blue Valentine. You always be my blue Valentine. 식어버린 나의 색은 blue. 파랗게 멍이 든 my heart. 몇 번이고 다시 나. 여린 날 lipstick 이건 such a bad love. We fight, we sigh and stop. 이렇게 타오르다 한순간에 식어가. Rewind, rewind, rewind. 언제 그랬냐는 듯이 또 서로를 찾아. 깊게 새긴 상처 비친 red blood. 부서진 forever. I can see it now. Can you see
Okay.
it now? 우리 마치 broken glass underground. 돌이킬 수 없다 해도 we can figure it out. If this love is over, 다시 뛰어들어나.
Interesting.
이 사랑은 colder. I keep the fire lit in mine. You always be my blue Valentine. You always be my blue Valentine. 식어도 타오르는 얼음 속 불꽃. 아무것도 없이 뻗어버린 손. Hot and icy, but I like it. It's all you, so you. 바뀐 맘에 weapon 몰려온 cloud. We're the one together. I can feel it now. Can you feel it now? 롤러코스터처럼 우린 정신없이 흔들려도 돌아갈 걸 알아. So it doesn't matter. You might be my endgame. 대가로 얻은 worst pain. You might pay.
Huh.
If this love is over,
I do like this chorus.
이 사랑은 colder. I keep the fire lit in mine. You always be my blue Valentine. You always be my blue Valentine. 붉고 푸른 사랑이란 bruise. 나지는 않길. Cause it's you.
Okay. Interesting. 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 All right, that was NMIXX Blue Valentine, their first song. Very nice. Um, this was very interesting. I I feel like genuinely I'm usually pretty. I like a lot of NMIXX songs. I feel like that's pretty. I feel like that's pretty well established in terms of my enjoyment of their music. Um, I will say it's very interesting. I don't know how I particularly feel about like the rhythm change in that pre-chorus, like the way that it kind of like ramps up with like the rhythm. Like it almost feels like you hit the fast forward button on like the on like the rhythm, and it just kind of feels like if you've again, it's this is probably gonna make me seem very old, I guess, comparatively, but it's like when you put a cassette tape into a into a thing, you hit fast forward, it kind of has that like almost like speed ramp like way of the song kind of moving at more of a faster BPM. Um, so I thought that was interesting. I will say, first listen, I don't know if I really enjoyed it as much. Second listen, I thought that was also I felt like it was a little bit better. Um, I felt more engaged with it second go around. The chorus I still feel like is probably one of the stronger points of the song. I do feel like they build a lot around that chorus, so they did a great job of that. Um, there was some interesting like rhythm choice. I think in the post, I guess I technically would be like the post chorus in the second part of the song where like they added like a different kind of beat section to the song, and I thought that was interesting to kind of transition into that like I guess bridge section of the song as well. Um their vocals were really good. I did like you said, the melody, the catchiness of that chorus I think really stands the test of time in this song. Obviously, this is the first time listening to it, so I'd be curious to see how I feel about it later on after I've listened to the full album. Um, but I don't know. I feel like this one will. I feel like this is definitely a grower song. I can absolutely understand if you liked NMIXX before, and maybe this isn't like maybe you're not feeling this one. Um, I don't know. I feel like I could see both sides of the coin on this one certainly because it is very divisive, but I feel like they did the I know we were talking about in their pre-release how how some of their music is like, oh, well, you know what's going to happen when they say like NMIXX change up. I felt like this song was like their version of that obviously, but not to the degree of like, oh, where they're saying like change up, you know what I mean? It's like the song is actually changing and they're not like notating you on it. It's like just kind of like the way that they process it. So I thought this was very interesting. I will absolutely give this one another listen again just because I feel like I always have to give it once a listen on YouTube, and I feel like then I go and listen to it on Spotify after. But I don't know. I feel like I'm a little mixed on this one. Not that, no pun intended. Um, but I feel like this one was definitely like there was a lot more risk taken in this song, I feel, than maybe previous songs. But I also could see like again in terms of enjoyment and like a different change of pace. I could understand why people may not be as in may not have enjoyed it as much. So um very interesting title track. I'm also curious how it fits in the confines of the album. I'm always a big front to back album listener, so I'm always curious to see how this is gonna kind of be framed. But very interesting, very interesting. I do feel like you can't say that it's not a very interestingly arranged song. So um, very interesting. All right, some people said they had not listened to this because I'm curious what they thought. Callus says it's kind of weird, but I like it a lot. I do love NMIXX. Interesting. Okay. Connie says I think I like this. Connie says doesn't follow what you expect. I would agree. Connie says it's actually catchy. Andy, hello. Thanks for hanging. Kogi said this song just gets better and better the more you listen to it, but I love it so much. Uni says my second listen and I still don't really like it. Ooh, okay. Interesting, interesting. Sally says that they liked it. Uni says something feels a little off about the mix to me, though I haven't listened to it off of YouTube yet. I think that's also something that I noticed, but wasn't necessarily like, "Ooh, this is not." You know what I mean? Like, I can understand where you're coming from, Unhi, because I definitely felt like mix wise it was a little off. So I will definitely give this a listen to on Spotify. So I feel like that might be know how I'm feeling on that one. But Connie says yes, true. I would assume in reference to the tape machine. Gunky says this is one of my top title tracks already. Wow. Okay, that's quite the jump. Basically, for me, top title tracks in order would be Dice, See That, Dash, then this one. Ooh, okay, interesting. Kala says still a know about me, Stan, but this one is great too. Ooh, okay. I feel like Dash is one of those songs that I'll go back and listen to. I love that title track. I still think that's, in my personal opinion, I still feel like that one's the best one. But the See That was also good too. So, all right, well, we're gonna get into the album, which I'll leave up my YouTube because I know I will inevitably migrate myself over there. So, no use in switching it around here. So, all right, cool. So we did listen to Blue Valentine. Uh, Spinning on It, I think was the pre-release, if I remember correctly. So we will listen to it again. Let's check Spinning on It. I kind of figured you would, Gunky. I will say, Lily sounds exceptionally good in the song. Oh, I like that vocoder voice. That's cool. Didn't notice that earlier. I think the mix on this is so much better. It sounds more crisp. I don't know, can't place it. Ooh, that falsetto tone's so nice. Ooh, wow. She's going up in register. Holy shit. Wow. All right, cool. This was Spinning on It, a part of NMIXX's Blue Valentine album. Very nice. I believe that I am. Typically I pay for Spotify Premium, so I would hope that it's good quality. I don't know. I would have to be able to check. I'm pretty sure I am, but I don't know. I feel like there is, and this is gonna be probably a little rant, but I do feel like YouTube definitely has like a compression in terms of like their videos and stuff. Um so I don't know if it's I have no idea if it's just the YouTube compression and like the way that the music sounds, but for whatever reason, like, and maybe again because I have a preamp and I'm obviously running my headphones through that, so there could be like a dynamic thing that maybe the preamp is picking up on that, um, you know, maybe my car speakers or something else isn't picking up on. So it could be a valid choice here. So couple comments. Gagi says, "I will die on the hill that see that is a banger regardless what Youthful says." That's true. We miss Youthful. Shout out to Youthful if you're watching still. Hopefully you'll come back. Everybody, Gagi is saying this song is actually better without the MV. Uni says the same way with Blue Valentine. Ooh, okay. He says, "I was actually planning on checking this album out later tonight anyway, so this works out perfectly for me. Hey, let's go. Let's go." I really enjoyed this a lot. I think this was I thought this was really good. I feel like I enjoyed spinning on it, but I enjoyed this listen a lot more. And I don't know if it's just because maybe I just don't like I love K-pop MVs, and this is not a diss to like the team or anything like that. But I do find that sometimes when I'm watching the MVs, they are a little a little overwhelming. And I think that's probably the point to some degree. But I don't know. I feel like for me, like the best way for me to enjoy songs is just to like genuinely is just probably just lean back in my chair here in my office and just listen to it, and kind of really enjoy like the little bits of nuance that the song has to offer, because I think there was a lot of great moments in this song that I may have missed out on in previous listen, that this time I was like, wow, there's just so much more going on. More specifically, I felt like Lily crushed it in the song. Like I already thought her vocals were really good in this song, but there was a lot of moments where like she was doing like more ad-libbing in the back. She was hitting like some really high like vocal register. I think probably I would argue some of the highest vocals that I've heard her do in any NMIXX album. And I've listened to pretty much all of them, I think. B-sides and all. So, I've listened to some of those, not as popular songs, and I feel like she's got obviously great vocals, but I felt like in this one she was really popping off. So I've really enjoyed that, and I think there's just a little bit more nuance in this track that I didn't really pick out. I will say this beat is so much fun. I really enjoy it. Like that kind of like, again, more dry, like a little bit more punchier snare tone in this just sounds like it pops just a little bit more. I love the instrumentation. That really gritty, dirty bass is so much fun to listen to. But I really feel like this one, more than anything else, I feel like exemplifies how good of a vocalist team that this group is. I felt like the vocals were exceptional in this one as well. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this a lot. I think I enjoyed it more listening to it now on Spotify than I did watching the MV. And again, that's no diss to the MV, but I feel like there's just so much extra things going on in the song. So, definitely dug it for sure. Gunky said, "Are you listening to Spotify on lossless?" I would like to think so, but can't guarantee. And Gunky says, "We will need to do an experiment, listen to Blue Valentine again on Spotify. Maybe at the end. We could. So, all right. Well, we'll keep it moving. The next one is Phoenix. So let's check it out. Wow. Ooh. Wow. Ooh, that chromatic descension. That's cool. Wow. Wow. Oh, those synths are deep. Wow. 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 Okay. That was sick. That was NMIXX's Phoenix. If you're hanging out, thank you for hanging. Um, wow. That one, I feel like I agree with Unhee. This one's gonna be a hard one to beat for sure. I know we are saying that in literally track 3 on their album, but God, this one was sick. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think this I think this one is one of my favorites so far because the I love the way that it's arranged. This definitely felt the most and mix. Like if I was to close my eyes and I was listening to all of these songs, and again, I could probably say this about a few songs, but on this album, I'd imagine. But I felt like this one, I would immediately know this is NMIXX. Like this one just has that sort of like NMIXX stylization, but the beat on this is so much fun. I enjoy it. A very infectious like rhythm choice. I also love the um I also love the love for like it felt very chip tuney and it almost kind of at some parts feels a little bit video like old school like either like 16-bit or like 8-bit like stylization in terms of like the synth, like some of the vocal parts have this kind of like robotic um almost like I don't know, like distorted effect to their vocals, and I really appreciate that. I think it also helps like the way that it was arranged too. Like there's a lot of cool like vocodered voice sections in the song, and I love like the chromatic descending like melody choices that they were using in the song. It was very jam packed for a song that is 2 minutes and 44 seconds long. Like I love the length. Normally I don't like songs that are under 3 minutes, but I feel like they were really able to cram a lot into that 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And I feel like that is truly a testament because like each moment you're like, ooh, I like this part. And then it shifts into like a different like phrasing. They did their classic like mix like vocal sample. Like it just to me, it just to me very rang true to what they do. Um, and I feel that as I listen to this song, I'm sure that I will find little nuggets about this song that I feel like maybe I didn't get to listen to first time around. So I feel like this definitely plays on the sense of like, okay, if you like the song, give it more listens. So I definitely like this a lot. I feel like this definitely played a little bit more into my wheelhouse in terms of NMIXX songs that I have already enjoyed already. But I feel like it was done expertly well. So I definitely enjoyed this one a lot. This was cool. So um Kogi says, we haven't hit my favorite song yet. Fair enough. But this isn't typically my type of song. It took me a few listens to really like this. You'll probably like them. I don't really like the next two songs. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. All right. Well, we'll keep it moving. Um, let's see. Uni says, by the way, get hyped. The full album is going to be on Lee Mujin's service on October 14th and 15th. Hey, let's go. That's going to be tomorrow and Wednesday. So very nice. All right, let's get into Reality Hurts. Oh, wow.
People love the boxes they put me in, thinking they can put a pink bow on it to fix things. Cut out all the pieces that just don't fit.
Wow, that has so much depth to it. God.
God is so hot, so hard to breathe, and I try to run. I wanna be free. Ay, teach me. I can move a mountain range. I don't need magic. We're just on another plane. You don't understand it. I can make the world change, start a new planet, but they can't stand it.
Oh, what? Wow.
Stars stuck to my feet, they keep on chasing me. They can't catch up to me. I leave them in the dust like, oh, I think I've chewed enough. Reality is tough. I try to fight, but I can't seem to get through it. I don't want that. I don't need that. Cause with my goalies, I can move a mountain range. I don't need magic. We're just on another plane. You don't understand that. I can make the world change, start a new planet, but they can't stand it. Reality.
Oh. What the fuck?
Reality.
Wow.
Like it rock and rolling, cause we're always gonna bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Keep it going. I'm the antibody, I'm always gonna bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Oh, you know it. I can move a mountain range, I don't need magic. We're just on another plane, you don't understand it. I can make the world change, start a new planet, but they can't stand it. Reality.
That what the fuck was? Oh my god, that was insane. All right, that was Reality Hurts. That, truer words have never been spoken. This was from Blue Valentine off of NMIXX's new asset album. Very cool. Um, damn, my brain hurts. That was nuts. I can understand. Okay, I'll preface. I can understand why people may not enjoy this song, but I also feel that I understand why people like this song. I'm gonna put this in a phrasing that I feel like might resonate with some people. It may not. I feel that this kind of reminds me a lot of like the electronic moments when we've checked out like Electric Callboy. It's kind of giving that, and like in my brain, I'm thinking, wow, if there was some like metal guitars in this section, like it would be fucking tight. And then they kind of gave that to us in the latter half of the song, which I was like, sick. If that was like in the first half, I think I would be really stoked. I know Unhi showed us like that really cool person that was doing like the metal remixes of like K-pop songs. I feel like that one would be a really sick one to kind of like try to figure out how to work. But I enjoyed this a lot. I think the overwhelming majority for this song for me is just the production. I think it is just insane. It's on that line where the production almost hits like a big wall. Like it almost feels like too like it's just thick. Like there's just something about like the production of it that's just like, damn, like you can really hear it. And I can only imagine like if you've got like a good car sound system, or if you've got like really nice like speakers, or like there's just a lot of depth to this song that I think my headphones did a very good job of. But I think there's a lot more like sub bass in this song that just is like insane. So I will have to probably give this another listen on like in my car. I'm curious how that will test my sound system. But I enjoyed it. I think it's less of a vocal song, if I'm being realistic about the song, and more of a like testament to how interesting they can kind of like arrange their vocals and like put it to like a unique beat as well, like very club, very rave inspired. But I enjoyed it. I think there is a little bit of novelty to it, certainly, but it is a song that I feel like I haven't heard them really break into. So I love that. I love that they are really kind of just expanding it. So very interesting, very interesting. Couple comments here. Everybody was enjoying the like rave sections. I love it. Let's see. Connie says, I like this one. Gunky says, if we were at a race, this would fit right in. I agree. Giving very like Forza, or like for all you OGs, like a Midnight Club, or like Need for Speed Underground, for those OGs who played the racing games, you know what I mean? Uni says, what the fuck? This is incredible. Kagi says, this is just too weird for me. The second half of the song is definitely better. I think they had DJ just come in and do whatever the hell you want. That's fair. Maybe if I listen to this 20 more times, I will love it. Uni says, Industrial NMIXX, I fuck with this so much. That's fair. Gagi says, I do like this a lot more than Rico. Rico does one thing I absolutely don't like. Ooh. Jazz, hopefully you're doing better. But all blessings. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Yeah. Best of luck. And Sarah says, I missed it. It was a me type of song. Yeah, it's Reality Hurts. It was a very like ravey, like EDM club banger for sure. So very nice, very nice. I feel like this album has very much thrown me for a loop. So I don't know what Rico's gonna bring, but we're gonna check it out. So I'm curious. I'm curious why Gunky doesn't like this. So let's check it out.
Here we go. Here we do it. Don't stop. 늘 예상밖의 invitation 그 본능처럼 모여들어 Yeah we let go 밤을 lock on 우린 완벽한 mismatch 뚜루덤덤 벽 crush it Body down down go break it 우린 bomb 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 like it I'm 쓰고 영영 wild wild We're so winner freaky freaky 태도일수록 better Tick it tick it down win up so come over 눈 감고 뛰어와 don't ever stop 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 Know the way you're coming from 이름도 필요 없는 걸 경계를 넘어 come 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 매일 깜짝이야 리고 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 매일 깜짝이야 리고 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 거친 리듬 속에 we go we go we go we go we go we go 매일 깜짝이야 리고 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 내 뜻한 에너지 가딱 불이 붙은 chemistry Come on come on come get some vibe 느껴진 synergy 뭘로 지금 이걸 리고 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 맘이 가는 대로 we go we go we go we go we go we go 조각나는 paradigm 매일 feel it's Navidad
That piano is sick. Wow.
매일 까닭에 Rico, 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 Rico. 매일 까닭에 Rico, 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 Rico. 거친 리듬 속에 we go, we go, we go, we go, we go, we go. 매일 까닭에 Rico, 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 Rico. 내일 듯한 에너지 까딱 불이 붙은 chemistry. Come on, come on, come get some vibe. 느껴진 synergy. 내가 지금 내거 Rico, 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 Rico. 맘이 가는 대로 we go, we go, we go, we go, we go, we go. 매일 감사할게 Rico, 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 Rico. 매일 감사할게 Rico, 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 Rico.
All right. Very cool. This was NMIXX's Rico. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. I'm curious on the comments here. Guggy says I will probably like it. I did enjoy it. Kai says, what kind of Rico is this? Guggy says, I do like parts of the song though. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And Kai says, oh yeah, this is nice. I understand what kind of Rico. That's nice. Let's go. Let's go. Sarah says, ooh, I really like this one. What is the name of that classical piece in the pre-chorus? It's on the tip of my tongue. It did sound very familiar. So I can understand what you're saying. I can't remember it, Sarah, either, but I know what you're talking about. Gogi says, I absolutely hate the chorus so much. They pull what La Seraphim chorus, and I hate that. Hey, listen, I could understand. I could see it. Uni says, I do like it, but it's not on the top of my list. Okay. I will say I enjoyed this a lot. I think it would be just outside of my favorites, or maybe an honorable mention. I did like that. Like, I like the Latin beats. I feel like they did enough to make it very interesting and very dynamic. The song already has like a really good beat to it already, but I think like the way that they kind of, I feel like the way that they kind of mixed up a lot of the parts of the song, like I like the fact that the chorus kind of has a repetitive factor to it. Normally, I am also not a fan of like repetitiveness, but I think because the rest of the song is very dynamic and very different, I like the fact that the chorus is what it is, because I think it almost gives you this sort of grounding effects to the track, because you're like, okay, I already know what they're gonna do in the chorus, and so the rest of the song can kind of again make that, I feel like it can kind of branch out and do different things. I really love that piano section. I think that was probably one of the more memorable pieces. If I believe Sarah also pointed it out, that like classical piano section was super cool. I also love the way that they incorporated like a lot of like elements you would typically hear in like Latin music, a lot of like horns, like the like guitar work feels very in line with that. So I love that. Again, just kind of keeps with the nature of the song, and I appreciate that. I know they just did a collab with I forget their name, so apologies. But I thought that was really cool, and I think that almost to me feels like an engagement in that type of musicality. So I like that they kind of again do that. I know they have also released, I believe, Spanish versions of some of their songs, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like I knew that they were inevitably, just based off the name of the song, I was like, they're gonna tap into some Spanish here, or just like Latin influence. So I definitely appreciate this one. Like I said, I don't know if it's in my top favorite songs on this album, but definitely was enjoying my time, and I felt like it was definitely just, I would say, just shy of my favorite songs that we've heard so far. So let's see. Gunky says, I hate crazy repetitive choruses. Fair enough. Change the chorus and I'd probably like it. Kaylee says, I kind of like this one. Reminds me of Card's Icky. That's fair. I could hear the similarities. I will be honest, I changed the song and didn't finish it after I heard the chorus. Oh no. Damn. That's rough. And I think that's even rough for you to say, considering you're such a fan. So that's tough. But I get it. I get it certainly. All right. Well, we're at the midway point of this album, so I'm curious what the latter half of this album has in store for us. So let's check out Game Face.
밀려오는 troubles 늘어가는 hurdle 일일이 전해보지만 all day 끝없이 달려드는 move 제자리만 don't round they keep trying to kill my vibe 새로 쓰는 how to 지금부터 new face 그 누가 뭐라든 gonna skip wanna pick tuning
Like their lower register. Cool.
넘어진 넘어 biz 잠겨다운처럼 headlight처럼 안개를 throw away 수많은 word and 경고만 delete 온 세상을 customize Cause I focus only on my life 지워버려 left and right 거슬리는 noise 내게 나를 주는 toll leaving everything bad behind 수고라면 고른다 들고 가지 matters go straight I'm already
That jump in
set, yeah,
vocals is
지금부터
interesting.
main class, so I put my game face on.
Post chorus is interesting.
선명해져가는 my breathing 쉴 새 없이 맘을 heat up 멈출 줄을 몰라 I feel alive
Great harmonies. Very nice.
꺾이지 않는 pace 세상의 규칙 따라 세운 fences 주저없이 cross the line Cause I focus only on my life 지워버려 left and right 거슬리는 noise 내게 나를 주는 toll leaving everything bad behind 수고라면 고른다 들고 가지 matters go straight I'm already set yeah 지금부터 main quest got my game face on I don't really care what you have to say what you say 다른 건 이미 다 faded 거세지고 있어 높아지는 heart rate 발끝까지 새로 변함없는 my stance I got my game face on Cause I focus only on my life 지워버려 left and right 거슬리는 noise 내게 나를 주는 toll leaving everything bad behind 주저앉지 않고 fight 흐름은 turn over white flag 태워버린 my game 손에 쥐어 old chance so I put my game face on
That like, it's flat, but it's so cool. I like that. Okay, very nice. All right, this was track 6, Game Face, from NMIXX's newest album, Blue Valentine. Thank you for hanging. We're covering some albums tonight. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think this one is very interesting from a songwriter's perspective. I didn't notice it at first, but the song, as it progressed, I was like, you know what I noticed? There's something very unique about this song that I didn't really pick up on until we got to the bridge. And I was like, oh my God, I get it. It makes sense. There is an interesting way that this song is approached where the choruses are all major key, and I believe all of the verses are minor key, especially in that bridge. I know that bridge was definitely minor, and like comparatively to the choruses, they definitely have more of a major key. So I like kind of like the major minor key like switch off. I think that that's very interesting. And I think they work very complementary to each other. Like I love kind of like, I like that interesting transition in that second chorus where they kind of had like the synths kind of draw out a little bit more, and then they changed it into like more of that minor tonality in that part of the section, and then the way that they're kind of able to drive it out into that final chorus I thought was very interesting, and I definitely appreciate that a lot. Also that like vocal like that kind of like very like interesting like vocal jump I thought was very unique. I think there's something that it's something very noticeable in the song, but I love like the way that they kind of shift their vocals in that way. I think I think it would seem a little off, but I do like the way that they kind of incorporated it into the track. Was very unique, and I definitely feel like it makes you remember this song because there's so many unique quirks to it. But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. I think this one would definitely be amongst my favorites so far, just because A, I thought it was very catchy, but B, I think like kind of the structural nature of this song was also very unique too. And I think it kind of splits the album up well. Obviously um it comes right after Rico, which is, again, a completely different song. So I think I'm curious how this song is separated in terms of the rest of the songs in the album, but I feel like it is very fun. I like the synths, the way that they kind of match up with the vocals too, in terms of those like vocal slides as well. I thought that was very unique. But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. Um, I don't know. I still feel like I'm kind of like torn between like 4, 5, and 6 in terms of enjoyment. Still feel like Phoenix is like number 1 so far, and then I probably put Spinning Out at number 2 in terms of favorites. We'll have to obviously come back to Blue Valentine after this is over with, um, but I enjoyed it so far. It's been very good. I don't think I've had one song where I've been like, ooh, I'm not feeling it, but very interesting. Gunky says chorus is good, very nice. Uni says very nice synth, very fun. Currently in third place. Gunky says I really like this song, but it's actually my least favorite of the songs I added to my playlist. Podium is another song I personally am not that into. It's way better than Rico though. Oh, okay. Well, let's keep it moving. We've got Podium next. Wow. Very Stomp the Yard.
I'm on island 보란 듯이 울려 siren 트랙같이 구석지근처럼 굳는 태동 뒤로 한 채 You think you cannot run me That's funny 하여튼 욕심은 warning 내가 밟을 podium putting that sweat that sodium pandemonium going non-stop non-stop to the top yeah non-stop non-stop to the top non-stop non-stop to the top non-stop non-stop to the top non-stop non-stop yeah there's no stopping me now no breaking me down 내 눈은 ground those stars are little closer on top of the world non-stop to a die 천천히 빛나 겁없이 make a rush at high speed 내가 밟을 podium putting that sweat that sodium 켜진 타머 필요 없어 쉬어가도 일러 앞서가도 지켜 난 매너 상냥하게 see you later You legendary 내게 휘몰아친 소용돌이 중심으로 달릴 준비 honey yeah you know I don't know my limits No stop no stop to the top 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 Yeah there's no stopping me now No breaking me down 내 하늘은 round The stars a little closer On top of the world No stop to a die 더 저를 빛내 겁없이 make a rush at high speed 내가 밟을 podium putting that sweat that sodium pandemonium going non-stop non-stop to the top yeah non-stop non-stop to the top 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 쓰러져도 남길래 온몸에 스컬 드러내 여긴 모여 we rise higher fly above the flag Yeah there's no stopping me now No breaking me down High up on the clouds The sun burns me but okay We were meant to be split 너 몰라 난 fall It's not over until we are done Catch me in the podium 현실은 거친 sodium Catch me in the podium
All right, very interesting. All right, this is Podium by NMIXX. Um, a couple comments. Sarah says I'm still trying to how to Google what the interpolation was on Rico. That's fair. Let us know if you figure it out. Um, I will say the songs do feel short. Well, this one is 3 minutes, so it's a little bit longer. If we're pulling semantics a little bit. Kelly says at the beginning, immediately made my brain yell Camp Rock at the stopping time beat. Uni says could do without the chipmunks. Connie says, oh, this is composed by Ryan Jun. Interesting. I would also say interesting. This is a very interesting Ryan Jun song. Gunky says, I will say this isn't necessarily bad. It just doesn't really do anything exciting. I will agree with that. I will also leave a funny tidbit similarly to Kaylee's. The only thing that I could think of, in I don't know why, but like my brain was like, my milkshake brings all the boys to the I don't know why I was thinking that, but like the beat was like too perfect to meter out in my brain. So I had to try to, if I was like mouthing along to that part, then it was me trying to figure out if it was in the same meter or not. Um, but I don't, to me, this is like, I think this is a very inoffensive song. It's not my favorite NMIXX song on this album, but I also don't think it is like the best song. And I think there was a few, I definitely feel like there's a lot of missed moments in the song where I think they could have made it a little bit more interesting. It just feels to me like we have to, and I know Ryan Jun has some really good songs. I've loved a lot of Ryan Jun's production. And I feel like this one is maybe one of the first ones in a good bit where I was like, ooh, I feel like this might be a Ryan Jun miss for me. But I don't know. I think it just lacks a little bit of pizzazz. Like, you know, there is a lot of cool elements about the song. I think the vocals are really good in this one too. But to me, it just doesn't really collect. Like, I think there was a lot of cool ideas, and it kind of feels like when you put everything into a blender and the blender doesn't really blend everything up super smooth. I feel like there's still chunks in the smoothie, and I just can't figure it out. I mean, is it still a drinkable smoothie? Absolutely. But is it, you know, is it a smoothie I would want to drink every day? Probably not, you know. So, like I said, not a very bad song, but I do feel like there's a lot of I do feel like there is some room for improvement in terms of the way that the song could be arranged or put together. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's not bad. I could understand why Gunky feels that this is better than Rico. So, though I liked Rico more than this song. So, let's see. Kaylee says I get that too. Okay, fair enough. Edwin, hello, yo, what's good? Thank you for hanging. All right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. We're doing "Crush on You" next, which I'm curious how this one's gonna sound. And it's kind of sad because all the rest of these songs are like in that 2.5 minute golden zone. But I am curious about this part 1, part 2. So very nice. Let's get into "Crush on You" next.
Yeah, no. Maybe I'm too dumb. 내 생각에만 툭하면 떠올려. 둘이 비추던 light 분위기에 취해 헷갈린 걸까. Let's play truth or dare. I wanna know how you feel. 우리 사이 심장이 흐를 때 Do you wanna hold my hand on my sudden 생각에도 심장이 요동쳐 이렇게 drunk 귓가에 맴돌아 자꾸 커지는 맘 Sounds so cliche but 이 말밖에 can't explain So I say Oh I got a crush on you 내게 너의 favorite view 다른 건 다 blurry 넌 only I'm falling Oh I got a crush on you 같이 꾸고 싶던 꿈
Love the chord phrasing. Wow.
And everything crush on you 널 만나러 가겠다 좋은 날씨야 기분이 자꾸만 들썩 큰일이야 You make me feel so good 바람을 타 crush on you. 눈이 마주친 순간 내
What?
마음은 두려워. 연습은 나를 걸지
Wow.
조심스럽게
Okay.
듣고 싶은 건 다 들려줄게. It's up to you. Classy, swaggy, fussy, 너라면 뭐든. Oh, I got a crush on you. I just wanna
Love
be
that
with
bridge.
you.
Wow, that was great.
너를 향한 떨림, can't stop it. I'm all in. Oh, I got a crush on you. 헤엄쳐 내 ocean blue. Sunset까지 품은 이 눈빛. I'm diving. Oh, I got a crush on you. 알잖아, 난 tell the truth. 다시 세 번만 더 말할게. Crush on, crush on, crush on you.
All right, very cool. This was track 8, Crush on You. I enjoyed this a lot. I feel like y'all know me very well. I love a good guitar riff, and this one is amongst the cool ones. I definitely enjoyed this. Um, I think this was very sweet. The song just has like a very interesting like guitar tone. Again, matched up with a really interesting like guitar phrasing. The vocals sound really good in the song. Like obviously, I know NMIXX is filled with really great vocalists, but I felt like this one, there's a lot of cool moments where you hear those main vocals and they're really good, but then there's like little bits of like ad lib moments in the background, which I appreciate. I like that they kind of had like a little bit of nuance with the different vocalists of NMIXX, so I appreciate that. I think it makes it lively, it makes it more interesting. I really love the bridge of that song. I feel like the change in like rhythm I thought was really cool. The way that they transitioned into that section I thought was also extremely clean. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. This was definitely like one of those ones that I think stood out to me when we first listened to it. But I really really enjoyed this one a lot. I would probably put this one in my favorites. I know this would probably not be maybe a majority of y'all's favorites, but I just think like the arrangement was super clean. I think their vocals sounded really good, and of course I love the guitar phrasing. I feel like that's kind of, along with their vocals, a pretty main centerpiece of the song. So yeah, I think it was very well written, very well performed as well. So I think it kind of combines my love of this song. So very nice. Gogi says now we're into the radio friendly songs. Fair enough. Excuse me, I read it too fast. Connie says I think I like this one, but I wish the chorus was different. I think that's the only part that I don't like that much. It's not bad, but not my favorite type of chorus. Fair enough. Gogi says I really like the bridge, so good. The next two songs are in my top 3. They are 10 out of 10 songs. Very interesting. Uni says, didn't blow my mind, but a very solid track overall. The couple notes of steel drum in the bridge stood out to me. Yeah, that was also very cool. There was a lot of nuance to the song. Like I said, I understand this probably isn't a lot of people's go-to songs on this album, but I just think the simplicity of it really stood out to me. And listen, you don't have to have songs that have like the insane production, in my opinion. I think there is a level of songs where I'm just like, wow, I just appreciate the simplicity of it. So, especially considering NMIXX, I know like they have some really intense songs as we listen to Reality Hurts. So I think there is a cool like, pendulum swing of the album. So very interesting. But we're gonna keep it moving. The next one is Adore You. So, that's how I feel about chat. So keep it going.
마주치는 눈빛에 침묵만이 가득해 with this chaos 뒤엉켜버린 chemical 몰아치는 감정에 반복되는 stupid play what to do 맘에도 없는 말을 또 뱉어 다 알면서 또 messed up I'm feeling like a fool 또 널 탓하고만 있어 습관처럼
man. Wow. Okay. I see what you mean, Gunky. All right. This was Adore You from NMIXX. I enjoyed this a lot. This is also very good. I feel like I would put this amongst my favorites so far. I thought this was I appreciate kind of the like pop rock approach to this song, like very dynamic. The way that the mix of the song is very interesting. It kind of, especially the way the drums are mixed, it has like this really kind of like large room sort of reverb to it that I appreciate. I feel like it's not mixed the way that I would typically imagine drums to kind of sound, but I like kind of the openness of it. I thought that was really interesting, especially in the like the toms and the bass tone. I feel like you get a lot more of that like almost live band sort of feel to it. So I appreciate that a lot. Um as well as that, vocals. I feel like the vocals in this were incredible. I feel like, not to harp on a comment I made before, but I do feel like the vocals in this album so far have been really good. I feel like, not that their previous albums they haven't stepped it up, but there's just something about like their approach to a lot of these songs where I'm like, they're really going up into their register, like a lot higher into their register than I feel like I've known them to do. So I've really, really loved that. I think that that's incredible. And it definitely shows in a lot of these songs, especially this one. I think they did a great job of just like having really like tug and pull sort of moments to their vocals. And I felt like this one was definitely one of the more convincing ones, at least. So I absolutely love that. I think that that's incredible. But yeah, I thought this was awesome. This is an incredible song. Like I said, it could have very easily been like, I feel like this would be a very interesting one in terms of like where they would, if they would perform this one. I'm very curious where they're gonna be putting like a B-side track. Like there's gonna be one that is gonna be high on that list. So very interesting, very interesting. But yeah, great song. I would definitely put this up there for sure in terms of mix song. So let's see. Connie says, "Oh yeah, this one is good. This one's top favorite now." Gungi says, "This is so good." Connie says, "Vocal wow." Agreed. Biscuit says, "That was probably my second favorite so far." Very nice, very nice. Unhi says, "So good. Would much rather have had that as a title track." And Gungi says, "I understand now. Shape of Love is my favorite on this album. It's just amazing to me." Ooh, okay. All right. Well, let's get into Shape of Love then. Cool intro already.
So tell me I love you well. 서로가 다른 만큼 I'll never know. 구름 한 점 없이 맑다가도 쏟아지는 비 부딪히는 feels 흔들리는 비 on and on. 끊임없이 마주하는 panic. 너는 때론 발이 때론 내리어. 우린 지금 chaos and sadness. 살 수도 없지만 난 이름의 감정을 만나 every day.
Cool pre-chorus.
I don't care about the shape, any pain I can take, but the more I need to love you. I don't care about the shape, any name I can take, but the 색깔이 더 love you. Oh, we hurt and we cry, sometimes we smile. Don't care about the shape, any pain I can take, but the more I need to love you. So tell me when your heart goes cold.
Nice.
Please let me know. 삐끗한 듯한 love, 불협화 같아도 we make all the rhythm. 오늘 마지막은 together. 끊임없이 이어지는 Tetris. 부딪히며 맞춰가는 frame. 터질 듯이 위태로운 내게. I know what it means. 우린 영원히 서투르겠지 like that. You'll be paying me blue, even so it's you. I don't care about the shape, any pain I can take, cause I'm willing to love you. I don't care about the shape, any name I can take, cause the 색깔이 더 love you. Oh, we hurt and we cry, sometimes we smile. Don't care about the shape, any pain I can take, cause I'm willing to love you. Getcha,
Ooh.
it's a wild
Wow.
상처받고 상처받길 자처하는 lovesick it's a wild thing I know you wanna be young and wanna breathe forever but I'm not gonna breathe 자연스레 all gets better 서로 enemy 시간이 조금 걸린대도 we will finally see You and me will even so with you I don't care about the shape and the pain I can take I can win and love you I don't care about the shape and the name I can take the 색깔이 다 love you And we hurt and we cry
Love the way they stagger at the vocals in this section. Very interesting.
Don't care about the shape and the pain I can take but the 모양이 다 love you Getcha, 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 getcha It's a wild thing 상처받길 자처하는 lovesick It's a wild thing Getcha, 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 getcha It's a wild thing 상처받길 자처하는 lovesick It's a wild thing
All right, very cool. This was Shape of Love by NMIXX from their newest album, Blue Valentine. If you're hanging out, thank you for hanging. Appreciate you. This was very interesting. I enjoyed this a lot. I definitely feel like this one will grow up me. I can feel it. Like, not that I didn't like it already, but I feel like there are certain aspects of this song that like were definitely something that I feel like I need to listen to a little bit more. I do appreciate a lot of the arrangement of the song. I think that's truly where I was like, I liked, I liked the fact that the vocals, the way that they just kind of arranged it in this song, and that felt like more dynamic. I love like the harmony sections, like a little bit of the ad-libbing like vocal parts. I feel like there was a lot more like I felt like there's a lot more space in the song to work with, and so I appreciate that they didn't just leave it blank. I love that they added just like little bits and pop in the song, so appreciate that a lot. I feel like the chorus is probably, I don't know. I feel like the chorus to me, especially that last chorus to kind of round out the song, I don't know. Like, I do like it, but I also feel like there's a lot going on. Like, I know I just mentioned how good like the layering is, but I do feel like there maybe is a touch too much going on. And not by much. Like I said, I think it just kind of like it's a very dynamically heavy ending to the song, and I think either you'll enjoy it or not. But I don't know. I think this was I think to me this was a very unique song. And I like that the synths are along with kind of like that main like melody tone really kind of stands out. Like I think the kind of combination of different vocals, that synth, and then like kind of like that main like drum beat of the song, I think is very, I think it's very interesting. So I don't know. I feel like I need to give this more of a listen. I'm not entirely sold on it, but I don't think that this is a bad song by any stretch. But I enjoyed it. I don't know if this would be amongst the favorites, but I did enjoy it a lot. So, let's see here. Paige, thanks for hanging. Appreciate you coming through. Let's see what we got here. Comment wise, I can't scroll up here. Very nice. Okay, so Kongi says this song just feels so full to me. Fair enough. Kaylee says I like this one. Uni says it's fighting with Adore You to get into my top 3. Fair enough. Muhammad, thank you for hanging. We are checking out albums right now. We're doing NMIXX, and I think we've got like three more picks after that. So we'll see how much time we've got left, but we'll keep it open. So. He says the next 2 songs they've performed for a while now, just splitting the debut song into 2 songs. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Well, let's check it out. I'm curious what this is all about.
Pop, let it now. We will make me take it open it.
So are these remakes or are they just different versions? Okay. Very interesting. All right, this is track 11. I'm okay. I'm curious. Okay, this is all right. Gunky said they still like their popcorn and zero Coke. Hey, let's go. Zero Coke shout outs. Connie says, I hate the original song, so this is a no for me. There's also no way I can like this song. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, okay. Gogi says it's actually a normal song now. It's a new song using what they used in the debut song. It's a solid song, nothing crazy. Uni says, huh? Not sure how I feel about that compared to the original. Okay, so this is their debut song. Am I not correct on that? Because I looked at the name. Scrolling down here, I'm like, are they redoing their debut song? That's twice. Very interesting. I'll be honest, I can't remember the original, so I'm just gonna take it at that. I think this is very interesting. This is only half their debut song. Okay. Again, I'll still stand firmly that I don't remember. I don't remember how much I remember of the the original song. So my apologies to any NMIXX fan. It's been many years now at this point. But I don't know. There's definitely elements about this song that I enjoy. Like, I don't know. I think the production definitely is what stood out to me more or less than anything else. So I don't want to. I feel like the production definitely got better from the original song, in my opinion. But I don't know. To me, it just kind of like, it kind of just feels like a song that's there. You know what I mean? It's not like bad by any means. I'm not gonna say that it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I enjoyed it. Would I, like, if this came up on a playlist, would I listen to it? Absolutely. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't skip it, but I don't feel like it is a song that I would go out of my way to listen to. So, Guggy says it's only half their debut song. And he says, I also didn't like the original for the record. Guggy says, basically, the original song was half this song and half the next song. Let's be real, the original sucked, and I'm a huge NMIXX fan. I was going to say, they should have definitely named these in a more interesting Okay, interesting. All right, well, let's check out the superhero part of this song. I'm curious. Let's give it a listen.
Na 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 na. I'm a superhero. Oh, yeah. Na 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 na. I'm a superhero. I'm a fight back. She's a cat. I'm a dreamer. Pew pew. Make it burn burn burn. Yo, 내가 가는 그 길이 바로 main road. Go go. Wanna run run run. Let me rock you out. Cut up and cut. Yeah, ziggy ziggy zag. 가대로 cut. Yeah, nah don't mess with my swag. I'll be right back. possibility 아우 재밌지 않니 Ay, zip zap don't come on Baby you're my superhero 영화 일에 미로가 보여 보고 있지만 말고 follow Cause everything is fake but I ain't no fake 진짜 시작은 지금부터 I'm a hero just like a black widow 아니 그 이상은 넘어 한길 없어 bingo 꿈꿔온 whole world 향해 bum 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 got your back bum 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 사실 같은 기분이 이제 지겹지 않니 잠든 너는 trap trap you will knock knock 부숴 버튼 내고 tap tap 불러 follow me never let you down be with me let me be a superhero zip zap zoom come on let go 잡아 just here we go 무서워해 don't never give up baby no I'm not in zero but zero possibility 아우 재밌지 않니 Ay, zip zap don't come on baby you're my superhero 너무 늦기 전에 try baby what you waiting for cause now it's that time and finally Ay, zip zap don't come on let go 잡아 just here we go 무서워해 don't never give up baby no I'm not in zero but zero possibility 아우 재밌지 않니 Ay, zip zap don't come on baby you're my superhero wow 부서지는 wall yeah na 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 boom pow gonna rock the world yeah baby I wanna rock the world boom pow 달려가 the world yeah na 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 zip zap zoom come on baby you're my superhero
I'm not gonna lie, hearing them say pew pew was very cute. So anyway, this is O.O superhero. Um uh I don't know. Like I said, I feel that I am passing judgment on this song that I don't remember the debut. So I will gunky go do my homework after stream. But um I don't know. I feel like both of these songs is very interesting. I think if anything, it intrigues me to know why they would want to why they would want to split their debut song into two separate songs. You know what I mean? Not even in the sense of like, yeah, they want to make their album longer. I feel like there has to be a reason in terms of like what made them not feel like maybe the debut was good on its own. Cause like I don't know, as like a new fan of NMIXX, I would be confused if I saw O.O, then I saw O.O part 1, Balia, and then I saw O.O superhero. I just feel like I would be confused, right? Like, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, and then you would see, okay, one's a debut song that came out when they debuted, and then they technically, I guess, re-released these songs in 2025. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand the brain power of JYP and his graciousness onto why that this would be on the album. But hey, listen, he's the GOAT for a reason. I don't know. Like I said, this song was not bad. I definitely feel like I enjoyed this one maybe a little bit better than the first part, and the first part wasn't bad. I don't think that both songs are inherently bad. Like if I hadn't listened to the debut, which I guess in this case it would seem that way, I don't feel like I would have, I wouldn't harbor any sort of opinion on it. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm very like apathetic about it. Like it's not that these two songs are bad by any stretch, but I just feel like it is a very interesting thing to include on a full length album when maybe two other songs could be two other songs could have been in replace of these two songs. Why the need to rehash a debut song in two different lights is beyond me. I have no idea. But like I said, vocals were really cool. I still am a Lily bias, and I probably will still stand on business on that because she sounded phenomenal in this song too. Again, I really love her voice. So enjoy this. I feel like again we have to go through and check out Blue Valentine, so I'll probably give that a listen now. Uni says, I feel like it feels a little slow to me compared to the original. It probably isn't, but the vibe I get, it's the vibe I get for some reason. Fair enough. I think they really made these versions for concerts. They've been performing these versions for almost 2 years now. Oh wow, okay. Uni says, I think I'm lost because I'm expecting them to do better or worse than the original, but they're still at the same level for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. I would argue they are better than the original, but I hated the original. Uni says, I get that. I warmed up to the original a bit over time, though. It's still pretty meh. Fair enough. All right. Well, let's listen to Blue Valentine real quick. We don't have to jump much into
You
it. So
always be my blue Valentine.
it feels a little deja vu.
Always be my blue Valentine. 식어버린 나의 색은 blue. 파랗게 멍이 든 my heart. 여러 번 이곳 다시 나. 여린 너 lipstick 이건 such a bad love. We fight, we sigh and stop. 이렇게 타오르다 한순간에 식어가. Rewind, rewind, rewind. 언제 그랬냐는 듯이 또 서로를 찾아. 내게 새긴 상처 bitchin' red blood. 있어진 forever.
I do like this like speed ramp section now. It's grown. Ooh. Okay. Chorus still hits. Trying to figure out the beater. Damn it. I lost it. Love the panning. Sounds good. I do like this final chorus. It's good. All right, very cool. That was Blue Valentine from NMIXX's album Blue Valentine. Very nice. We did watch the MV, so if you're wondering why we checked it out again, that's why. Gungy says, Brandon, you will always be my Blue Valentine. Thank you. Same with you. Gungy says, I really enjoyed this like much better without the MV, but I love this song. I will say it did sound better. I will give it the kudos it deserves. I enjoyed it. I think this is a very solid title track. I'll still stand on business. I still feel like Dash is my favorite. But I like this. This was definitely more. It was more of a creative endeavor, and I'm here for it. You know, I find that NMIXX always tends to keep things very interesting, and I would consider this album. I would still consider this album very varied in terms of what it is, but I also feel like they kind of mixed it up in a very different way, no pun intended. But I like the fact that there were I don't know. I think there was just a lot more maturity to these songs, and and to me, I feel like, they really owned up on a lot of stuff. I love like the concept of like, the conceptualization of this album. I thought was very cool. But yeah, I think as a full think piece, an album that is 34 minutes long, I think it's good. I think probably my only gripe, and that usually is probably spoken about in terms of most current releases, but I don't know. I feel like this. I feel like, to me, like, I am sad that this album is 34 minutes long and has 12 songs. I just wish that some of the songs are maybe a little bit more baked in. And like I said, my only, I don't want to say complaint, but my only critique is I wish they kind of swapped 11 and 12 out for two different songs. I know that they have been performing these live for a long time, but I feel like, to me, they should have done. I feel like they should have had different songs on the album. Like I said, I don't know if this was just kind of due to time or what have you, but I think, to me, the final two songs, while they were both okay, I genuinely feel like they could have squeezed in some interesting stuff, in my opinion. So I think in terms of favorites from this album, I would say definitely Phoenix was number one. Spinning on It, I feel like definitely was one that I was like, holy shit, I didn't think I was gonna enjoy that one as much. But I would definitely say that. Crush on You, uh Adore You, and I would probably put Reality Hurts last in the favorites. With an honorable mention to I would say an honorable mention to Game Face. I like the kind of contrast of major minor keys. I feel like that's really interesting. You don't get to hear that too often, so I probably say those are my favorites. So very nice. Let's see some comments here. Uni says the speed change is interesting. I appreciate taking the chance creatively. I still don't think it's for me. Fair enough. And parts of it are good. That outro is really nice. The outro is really tight. I agree. Gunky says, of course, it isn't better than Dash. Dash is my OG favorite. I still feel like that one, again, it's going to be a very hard one to beat in terms of title tracks, in my opinion. So, Connie says, nice album. My top three are Adore You, Reality Hurts, and Blue Valentine. Ooh, very nice. Gunky says, this is my type of song. I love how they went so much softer and then blast you with an amazing chorus. That's fair. Top three of Gunky's is Love, Shape of Love, Adore You, and Blue Valentine. Fair enough. Uni says Reality Hurts, Phoenix, Shape of You / Adore You, or Shape of Love. Shape of You is the cheered song. I read the shape of, and then I somehow mangled you up there. But anyway, Biscuit says tops for me were spinning on It, Shape of Love, and Adore You. Fair enough. Honorable mention, I hate Rico. I never want to meet him. Damn. You hear that, chat? If your name is Rico, Gunky never wants to meet you. That is depressing, but anyway. Cool shit. We love it. Thank you, Gunky. We are checking out SION next, which I've been very excited to check out. I've been patiently awaiting. I'm not gonna lie, Cal has been showing us SION, and I've loved his stuff. I'm kind of glad I haven't listened to it yet, but I did want to listen to it on stream, so I elected to not listen to it for that reason. So, let's see. Uni says Podium and Blue Val are fighting for my last on my list in order to oh, that's true. That's fair. Kaylee says, ooh, this has been on repeat for me. Ooh, okay. Very nice. All right, this is SION, their album Egan Sin. Hopefully I pronunciated that right. And the song of the same name to start it off. It looks like an intro potentially. So let's check it out. I love this. No. What? Oh, this is so cool. Very video gamey, yeah. What? This is Egasid. The intro title that was so sick. I like that. Um, you know what? It kind of feels like a combination of like for all those who know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like the way that uh like the Super Smash Brothers Melee song sounds in certain parts. Also is giving me a little bit of Kirby as well. A lot of video game like I feel like references. But wow, I that was incredible. That just I feel like to me kind of combined. Y'all know I'm a Nintendo nerd, so I feel like I don't know if this was an homage to a lot of like great openings from Nintendo games in the like early to mid 2000s, but wow, I this was awesome. Phew, this was shit. This shit was crazy. I thought that was so cool. I would listen to that on repeat for like the next like if we just listened to the intro, I'd be down. But that was tight. That's so cool. I don't think I have anything else to say. No notes. Ate it up. No crumbs. Um Kaylee says literally everything in this is amazing, makes my ears very happy. I would agree. Biscuit says love this. Connie says really like that. Guggy says if Reality Hurts did this, I would be on my playlist. Fair enough. Udi says magnificent intro, perfect soundtrack for my anxious brain. Oh, damn. Kaylee says IDK if you remember he really but he made a video game for his early release kind of thing too. I do remember that. That I feel like that's so incredible. He should definitely do like a video game soundtrack. That'd be gnarly. I'd be about that. Connie says me too, love Nintendo games, and Gunky says I heard Sonic in there. Yeah, it was kind of like I said, I feel like it's a love letter to like older classic video games. So I'm here for it. I'm down. Y'all know. So all right. Well, I don't know if this is an homage to the game Celeste, which also great game. Go check it out. But this song is called Celeste. So let's give it a listen.
But it just won't stop falling. Just as the morning fades, I even your day still. I don't remember the thing you said. What could I have missed again? Miss you as I love you. I can't let you fade away. Thought I'd get used to go missing when you're bad to explain. Faced it, not in control. I don't wanna lose you anymore.
So distorted. I love it. Ooh.
Figured it doesn't work out, so I cleared the cash, dropping the top now. Funny, it only took a sec for me to skip it. Still couldn't hold the drive. Another second till I'm full aware that I've been feeding my own disposition. Shouldn't have faced it.
Wow.
I can't let you fade away. Thought I'd get used to go missing when you're about to explain. Faced it, not in control. I don't wanna lose
Wow. All right, very nice. This was track 2 from SION, and the song is called Celeste. Very nice, very nice. I wow, this is like wall of sound in the best way. Kaylee kind of I kind of alluded to Kaylee's comment. This is overstimulating in the best way. I agree. This kind of reminds me a lot of like again, just the combination of everything I think was really cool. I think instrumentally it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Porter Robinson in terms of like the like indie like electronic nature of it. I feel like that was my first thought like electronic wise. I think vocally it kind of borrows a little bit of like my first initial thought was like it kind of reminds me a little bit of like OG Keshi like first couple albums when he was doing like a little bit more of that like bedroom pop sort of stuff, like emo pop music. And I definitely could resonate with that a little bit. And then if you like jammed those two artists together into the blender with like some J-pop, like we sprinkle some J-pop in there and then turn the blender on, I feel like that's what it would be. But there's just like such a tug and pull dynamically about this song that I really like. I appreciate the fact that this song like is peaking a little bit. I think, or not a little bit, is very much peaking in this song, but I think it's done in a very creative way. Typically, peaking is not good. But I feel like this song is like distorted in the best way possible, where I feel like it gives a little bit of characteristic to the song. Not that there wasn't anywhere else, but I just feel like I think it just kind of I think it kind of matches up the song really well where I'm like, "Oh shit, like the vocals kind of stand out a little bit more. The instrumentals kind of have that sort of like punchy aggressiveness to it that I think again is on the kind of complete opposite end of the scale. And I think they kind of measure each other out in a good way where I'm like, "Ooh, I really like the vocals," but then I feel like the instrumentation is something that I can gravitate towards as well. So, it was a good combo. I genuinely was excited to listen to this one again. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. This one I can understand, and I think just the lead in from the first song to this one, I'm excited to just listen to it where I didn't have to stop and pause for the next song, but I'm excited to listen to it in a complete capacity. But yeah, this was fire too. I feel like I feel like I might be enjoying this album more than I'm leading on. So very nice. A couple comments here. Let's see. Guggy says this just takes everything I love from J-pop music. Fair enough. Cody says this is so good. I'm already adding this to my playlist. Hey, let's go. Shout out to Kala. Biscuit said so good. Uni says 11 out of 10. No, Santa, thank you for hanging. We are doing album streams. We were a couple in. So Uni says, I remember my one singular complaint with this album, but I'll save it till the end. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. All right, well, we're going to keep it moving. The next one we've got is Hold On. So check it out.
I think I've grown a certain caution for some things I can see. Was it for me or was it for your relief? Hid all repressions quickly under my sleeve to make you think you've got a hold of. But the perception's under rest by a sponsor, the kind that makes me think the most when I sleep. Again, I'm tethered to the back of the car. I said, hold on, I'm out of time. I wanna see you, but I vanish at night. Run, I'm out of time. I guess I'll see you later in this divide.
Love the filter. Wow.
Push my own collapse on the centerfold. Bitches trying to cut me on the roads. For the trigger only I care for the strokes. I think I'm
Ooh. That arpeggiated synth. Very nice. The piano chord frame is sick. The filtering on the song is insane. Holy shit. Wow. All right, this was track 3, Hold On from SION. Very nice. Cool stuff. I don't see what other people thought about this. Let's see what chat says. Gunky says, this one is a miss for me. I do not like the filtering on the vocals. Very interesting. Okay. Connie says, okay, yes, I love this. And Gunky says, I like the chorus part of whatever it was. Fair enough. And Connie says, this reminds me kind of the music of my childhood. Ooh, yeah. Andy says, this gives me early 2010s EDM. I love it. I also would agree. This kind of feels like a combination of some like, I feel like this is if Skrillex and like Daft Punk kind of were put together. Like it has that sort of like rhythmic and like melodic pattern that I feel like would be equated to something that Daft Punk would do, but a lot of that like kind of like dubstep wubs and stuff feels very reminiscent of that time period. I used to listen to a lot of Skrillex. I don't listen to him as much, if not at all, really now, but definitely can feel the nostalgia of it as well, similarly to Connie. But I thought this was very cool. I kind of agree and disagree with Gunky's comment about the filtering of the vocals. I do like it, but there's also times where I'm like, I kind of wish there was some singing. Like, I kind of wish there was some, I kind of wish there was vocal parts in it where I was like, oh, okay, like the vocal parts are kind of pop in that section, and then they kind of filter the vocals. So I get what Gunky's coming about, but I also like appreciate kind of the arrangement of it, because again, I feel like that's very much of that time period music wise. I will say Sion's an incredible piano player. I think the piano in the song was definitely stand out to me. I know I've seen a lot of live clips of him on here, and I've just am enamored by his piano playing. I think he's such a great piano player. But I do feel like similarly to Gunky's comment, like I know Sion has great vocals, and I feel like maybe the only thing that I'm missing out on is like, wow, I'm really wishing that, because I mean, I've listened through a majority of his records. I really enjoyed Love and Social Avoidance. And I feel that to me, his vocals are so good. And I think sometimes my thought is like, wow, I do enjoy the musicality of the song. I'm like, man, some really good Sion vocals would fit really well in this song. And I think that maybe that is something that I'm starting to notice about these songs is more of a like, hey, let me experiment, do different things in terms of instrumentation and also vocals. But I know he's got great vocals. So I'm curious if maybe the latter half of these songs have some like really good vocals. But I'm sure we'll see as the time comes around. But I enjoy this. This is so far. This has felt a little bit time capsule-y, but in like the best way possible. So, I like that a lot. I feel like we may have. I feel like parasocially, I'm like we may have grown up with similar music taste. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Um, Gunky says, I like the music, just didn't like the vocal filters. Fair enough. And Andy says, yes, definitely Skrillex vibes. I would glad we're thinking on the same page. Love to see it. So, all right, we're gonna move it on to track 4, which is Avoid 2. So, check it out. Very ethereal. Cool. Digging.
I want it, I won't get home. I want us, you got too close. I woke up to this moment, I'm forced to. I need you to control, I can't just let it go. I want it, I won't get home. I want us, you got too close. I woke up to this moment, I'm forced to. I need you to control, I can't just let it go.
Ooh. Okay. Cool. Wow. That was a cool transition. Oh, yeah. Wow.
And if it just
That was crazy. All right. That was Avoid 2 from Eganson from SION. Very nice. Very nice. A couple comments here. Connie says, I can already see myself listening to this album at full volume on repeat. And this is so nostalgic for me. Oh my god, Connie said. Andy says, ooh, love the piano. I would also agree. This was cool. I feel like I feel like this whole album truly, I feel like you could take my commentary out of context and still, I feel like you could place it on each one of these songs and still be accurate. But um, this was so interesting. I feel like each song has been interesting enough where I I could understand maybe where there could be a little bit of fatigue because some of these songs do have like a familiar, like again, the dubstep wubs. I feel like, they're coming, right? And I can understand if people are like, "Oh, this feels familiar," right? But I do feel like there's a lot of nuance to a lot of these songs, especially this one. I liked a lot of the rhythm changes. I think there was a lot of cool moments in this song where I was like, "Ooh, what is he gonna do next? Like, what's gonna happen here?" Like, I think there's a lot more attention to the instrumentals this time around, where as opposed to maybe like the vocals of the previous album or EP, where I've been like, "Ooh, you know what? Like, this is definitely more on the side of like." Oh, these are really fantastic vocals. And again, not to say that there aren't great vocals in these songs so far, but I feel like to me, a lot of these songs are like, ooh, how can we really make the arrangement interesting? Or how can we, make this song sound more dynamic or what have you? And I felt like this one, very similarly to the other, two songs we've listened to so far, I've been like, okay, the dynamics on these songs are really fun. And, I think they are different enough where I'm not like, okay, I'm mixing this song with that song. Though I feel like if I was listening to it on repeat, I would probably be able to discern what songs are which, hopefully. Um, but I enjoy this. I love there's one section of the song where I think he's doing like a vocal pattern, and I love that it kind of transitions the rest of the song. Like it's kind of like the main centerpiece of the song, and then as it transitions, it becomes more of like a beat in the song. I just think the production and the arrangement of the song is very interesting, and it seems like a lot more in terms of like dynamics were a little bit more apparent in these songs than I would say in previous Sion songs. So I love that. I think that that's really cool. And I appreciate just kind of like the different textures. I don't even think that if I gave this one another listen, I genuinely feel like there are certain things that I wouldn't have been able to point at, that I'd be able to point out differently from the first time that I listened to it just moments ago. And I think that's kind of the impressive nature of it. I like that there's just different avenues to take in these songs. And I like that the experience can be different every time you listen to it. So very cool. This is about the halfway point. So I'm curious what the latter back half of these songs are, but I've been enjoying them so far. So very cool. All right. Well, we're going to keep it moving. The next one is Holmes. Let's keep it moving. Nice panning.
It's a turning of a travesty.
Ooh.
Oh, she keeps on coming back to me. Uh-oh. Though I got a lot to say, it's the frame you put on my plate that just makes it hard to speak.
melody, cool. Kind of has like a violin quality to it. Very nice. Oh.
But it doesn't fit these white noises inside my head. This a dozen hectic thoughts I wanna comprehend. But if everything is lodging back here, how am I the one to pay? How am I the one to pay? Lies closing inside my friend, but it doesn't fit these white noises inside my head. This a dozen hectic thoughts I wanna comprehend. But if everything is lodging back here, how am I the one to pay?
Oh, so cool. So cool. All right. This was Sion's Homes from their album Egason. Very nice, very nice. That ending, chef's kiss. So good. Connie says, wow. You know what, if someone put this kind of music at the club, no one dance here. The only one dancing and jumping people are so weird. I love to dance. Very nice. Um wow, this was incredible. And for a 4 minute long song, I know we've got another one right after this, but I love the I love the energy of the song. I feel like it is less aggressive, I would argue, than I feel like some of the other songs. And that's not to say I do love the like really in your face song, but this I feel like has moments. It like comes in waves. There's definitely some moments where I'm like, "Ooh, wow, like this is so engrossing." But I think this was what was missing for me. Not that the songs prior were not good. I love them. They're fantastic, but I think this kind of combines a lot of the elementation of what I feel like Sion can do well, which is again his great vocals, which I've been enamoring on about for a good bit now. But I feel like this one, you get to hear his voice. I also feel like as well as that, like the instrumentation is such a good backing to his voice, where like you get to hear kind of like the lower tonality of his voice. He's got a gorgeous mid range tone, and then he gets to get up a little bit higher, that like higher register as well. And I think there's just a good range throughout vocally that I'm like, damn. I kind of just sat back and was just like, I just really enjoy the song from front to back, and there wasn't really anything that I was like, there wasn't anything where I was like, ooh, I think this should have been changed or felt differently about. I just feel like everything about this track just kind of hit, and I liked a lot of like the elementation. There was like little bits of like synth work, the violins, like the mix between like natural like instrumentation, like you can hear like some great drumming, like the guitar work is incredible, and then you've got like again those synths that are matched up. I think this kind of combines that like real aspect of what SION does with like pianos, like violins, all that sort of stuff, but then also combines a lot of those electronic elements in such a very cohesive way, in my opinion. And yeah, I would say Home so far is my favorite song. Probably along with like the actual intro, Egeson. I really enjoyed that a lot, but I think those two right now are up there for favorites. So definitely enjoy that. Uni says, this is my fave on the album, if I remember correctly. Fair enough. The great choice. I feel like I can't go wrong with this one. So, all right. We're going to move it on to track 6, which is Bo Raka. Hopefully, I've pronunciated that correctly, but this one is the second longest song. So, I'm excited to see where the journey takes me. So, let's give it a listen.
Summer's gotten warmer yet again. Never really mattered anyway. 2 years since I've chosen self-defense. Thanks for coming all this way to. How can you just be so graceless?
Wow.
Never claimed to need all this. Just having trouble to face it. Same shit, so turbulent in the same way. Why's it been raining for ages? Why's it my phone can't withstand this? I can't walk with the veil.
Wow.
Every buzz, every break, every lifting on me. This is stuck in my head. In my head.
Ooh, that sax. Wow.
Dirty underneath the weather. Flashing lights covered in magnets. Celebrating on your special with picnics and bacon. So this is starting to the chronic. What if you say I enjoy this performance? It's certain I don't have a choice. It's something I made. It's something. How can you just be so graceless? I never claimed to need all this. Just having trouble to face it. Same shit, so turbulent in the same way. Why's it been raining for ages? Why's it my phone can't withstand this? I've got nothing to say, hard in the rain. On the ribbon, fucked it up my cigarette. You done my face, 24/7. Just took another and swallowed the pain. Walking and toting, washing it down. As if I never have lived in this house. I had to run, didn't know how to change. I had to run, but it's probably too late. I can't go with the veil.
All right, very cool. This was Bull Roca from Sion. Very nice. I enjoyed this a lot. I like that this one is not as in your face. I know I said that about Holmes, but I would also like to preface the similar sentiments to this one. Like I like that this one kind of has more of a swing to it. I like that this one kind of combines, like, again, the combination of the real instrumentation plus like the synth choice. I feel like that's such a cool like vibe. Like I like that like the synths and everything are kind of more set back in the song, and the like instrumentation kind of peers a little bit more through these types of songs, which is very nice. Sion's voice has definitely changed in a good way. I think like the characteristic of his voice is always very intriguing to me. Like in some parts, I feel like he kind of has like a little bit of a more raspier tone, and then he cleans it up so well. And so I think the combination of that in this song, where I don't feel like it's as vocally aggressive, but just like I think there's just a smoothness to his tone overall in this track, where I was like, damn, like I just kind of was sitting back and really enjoying it, and like taking it all in. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. I don't know if it would beat out Holmes for me, just because I really, really loved Holmes and like the structure and the arrangement. But I would say this one's very good. I think there's just such a fun, whimsical vibe to this song that I think is really gorgeous. And there's a lot of cool like arpeggiated synth lines that I feel like are almost used as like an ear candy moment to some of these songs, in a good way. But yeah, I felt like with Holmes didn't feel as in that close to 4.5 minute territory, where Bo Roca I feel like could be a little bit more, just because I don't think there's as much going on, which is fine. But I do feel like you could notice the time, I think, a little bit more on Bo Roca versus Home. So I still enjoyed it a lot. I think it's still a very good song, but um, definitely interesting. So we're gonna move it on to the last one, which is Remix One. It's a short one, so let's give it a listen. This is sounding intense already. The breakbeat drums. Ooh, that arpeggiated synth line, cool. Ooh, matched up with the guitar, cool. Ooh. What? The filter, I got that. Wow, holy shit. Such a cool, the fade out too. Wow. Okay. I didn't think the fade out was going to work. That's cool. I like that. All right. That was track 7, remix 1 from Egeson, Sion's latest EP. Very nice. Very nice. Um, I feel like there isn't a lot to talk about. I mean, I guess there is, but there also isn't. This was one of my favorites as well. I loved how it starts off. Also, like, very interestingly in this song, like it almost feel it almost feels like it's like slightly buffering, which I think is cool. I obviously know it's intentional to the track, but like I like the kind of like low grade quality of it into some aspect. I know it's intentional, but it was very cool. The song itself is wild. I love a lot of like the arpeggiated synths that he has going on. It makes sense he was like into making video game music because you can definitely tell that there's just so many um you can tell that there's so much like video game influence in terms of this EP as a totality. So I really love that. Um the chord phrasing towards the end of the song was wild. Um uh, I feel like I couldn't sing enough praises about Sion if I tried, but I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this as a closer. It was great. Connie says we. Kaylee says this song, I swear, is what my brain feels like when I'm thinking. That's fair. I feel like it's like the video game music when you're like having like, for those who know, like a JRPG. I feel like it's like when you're choosing which move to use, and the time limits going down. But um, very cool. Connie says, "Yo, this album is so good. My fave soul album of the year so far. I miss this kind of music." Hey, let's go. Thank you, everyone. Bless Kala in the comments and also in chat. They had recommended it, so very cool. Uni says, "So my main issue is how is with how the distortion is, I would guess. There's a number of times where this album I find that it's too strong or harsh. Gunky picked up on it when on the vocals back on Hold On. That's fair. I feel like it's kind of a Schrodinger's cat situation where I appreciate it from a stylistic perspective because obviously it's not intentional, right? Well, it is intentional, but I do feel like to me I feel like it's certainly a part of the song, but I definitely feel like to me like there is some aspects of it where I feel like it works better than others. I will agree with both Unhee and Gunky that I was like I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's my isn't something that I'm like, "Oh, this needs to be in every song," and I'm glad that it wasn't. And I understand that like artists do it from a stylistic perspective, but I was simply proven wrong by like some of the songs towards the latter half of this EP where I was like, "Ooh, damn!" Like there's some really good vocal moments. So I'm hoping that maybe on the next album he kind of finds like the middle area between that where it's like the instrumentals are wild and like the vocals just sit so well in the songs. But overall, I think this is like I would say this is amongst some of my favorite releases of this year. I am not joking. I enjoyed this way more than I would have anticipated to. Like I said, I really loved Social Avoidance, and I can give a lot of love to Kala for recommending it initially. But I just think there's just so much going on from a like production standpoint where I'm like, I feel like I would get so much out of it as it continues to kind of engross me. So, this is a fire release. There are obviously songs I enjoyed more than others, but I think overall, like I feel like overall I enjoyed most of them. I genuinely feel like there wasn't ones where I was like, where I wasn't like, oh damn, like this one isn't hitting. Like I just felt like all of them were like, wow, these are really good. Um, let's see. Gunky said sometimes I pick up on things. I would argue you're pretty good at it. Uni says I often like distortion, quite a bit in fact, but I felt it could have been dialed back a bit in places. Fair enough. Fair enough. Kaylee says IDK, I love it. My brain loves listening to things while doing work and stuff. Fair enough as well. I could definitely get that. Uni says it's still one of the better albums I've heard this year. And Biscuit says yes, this album is definitely going on my playlist. Hey, let's go. Shout outs to Kala. Our love of Sion continues because of them, so we love to see it. But yeah, favorites, tough. I'd probably say Egason, Celeste, um, Avoid 2, Homes, and I'd say Remix 1. I think Hold On and Baroka, I didn't think they were bad songs. I would say that they're still very good, but I do feel like the other ones I just like elicited like something in me where I was like, damn, these are so good. So especially the intro and closing song, I feel like those were premium. Like they were placed so well. So shout outs to Sion. Sion, if you're watching this, please come on the show. We'd love to have you. We should have a conversation. That would be sick. So Uni says Holmes, Egason, Celeste, I think for me. Fair enough. Very nice. Very nice. All right, cool. I think we will get the next one pulled up, which is Haechan. Hopefully we'll get to hopefully we will get to Sally's pick. Sally, if we don't, apologies, but Uni says, I believe Egason is German for stubbornness. That's I feel that. Very nice. Oh wow, it's okay. This is 11 sucks. So we might not get to 17 tonight. Hopefully we'll get through this though. This is 32 minutes. So I think we'll be just in the right amount of time. So very nice. We did check out Crazy a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe now at this point. So if you missed out on that, that will be up on YouTube probably by the time this comes up. So watch that if you want to watch the MV. But we're gonna be listening to Haechan's newest album, Taste. Like I said, I enjoyed Crazy, so I'm curious how the rest of this album is going to sound. So very nice. Let's get into Camera Lights to start off. So let's give it a listen. Can we start off with something like boom 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 booms?
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. All right, jazzy already. R&B-ish.
Come on. Camera lights, yeah. 전부 멈추는 듯해. 미묘하게 변한 공기 속에서 널 마주해. 비춰든 성광은 glitter rain. 그 빛들을 입은 채 turn round with me. You smile with me. I'm blurring in this atmosphere. 더 느리게 흘러. Your haze. So come on and make me visualize.
Wow. Cool.
Press the shutter. 담고 싶은 널. 숨이 멎을 듯한 찰나까지도. 머리 위에서 흔들린 조명은 힘들다 현실이 아닌 듯해. 너는 상관이 없겠지. 이대로 좋으니 난 너만 있으면 돼. 정적 속에 셔터 소리만 끝없이 들려. 찰칵 소리가 stuck in my head. 무심하게 웃어줘. Turn round with me. Your eyes on me. 조각 같은 모습이
Good falsetto tone.
나락도 I can't deny. You're the one. So come on and make me visualize. Press the shutter. 담고 싶은 널.
Thank you, Sally. Have a good night. We will do 17, I promise. Cool bridge. Wow. Ooh, wow. Effortless. Let's go. All right, very cool. This is Haechan's Camera Lights from his new album Taste. Very cool. Um, I enjoyed this. I for better and for worse, I remember a lot of the NCT stuff. No joke, I'm just joking. NCT's cool. I don't want to start any beef, but um, I liked Haechan a lot. I still really enjoy him in NCT's projects, but we listened to Crazy the other day and I was like, damn, he's such a good vocalist. So I'm glad we're able to listen to the album. I like I said, haven't gotten around to listen to it, so it'll be cool to listen to all these back to back to back. But there is a smoothness to the song. I love the kind of jazzy like R&B vibes of the song. Very good. I think his vocals suit it super well. I also just appreciate that this man just said, we're just going to put a ton of ad libs into this song. I don't care if we're going to use all of them, but we're just going to go for it. You know what I mean? And I think this is just like layered. And I mean like layered, like a croissant layered of like, of ad libbing. Like there's just so much layering going on in the song that I think is so cool, especially on the vocal end of the scale. And he's got such a different range that I think it just helps him out in terms of like the process. There's just something really cool about like his like higher register that just kind of has this very like treble-y, it cuts through the mix of the song super well. And I just kind of like the runs, the ad libs, they just add just another elementation to the song. But yeah, there's just a coolness, a smoothness about the song that I really liked. And I'm glad to see that his voice kind of fits in that sort of stylization so well. So yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. I'd imagine this could very well be amongst the favorites tonight for sure. So very nice, very nice. Gunky says, I don't know if I will be able to make it through this album. Already tired. That's already really tired. I feel that. Connie says, I love Haechan's voice so much. I would agree. Sally said, well, I'm very tired right now, so if you have time after this album, you can go with someone else's pick. Good night. You have a good night, Sally. Again, I promise we'll get through some of the 17 albums. I know we've done a couple. And I know I've listened to a couple of my own free time, so I'll have to make sure we have not overlapped there. But thanks again. We're going to keep it moving. The next one is Crazy, which we have listened to. We've seen the MV, but let's listen to it again.
Hey yo, hey, you keep looking at me, telling me I'm crazy. You're right. 내 걸음은 fancy, 시선을 훔치는 순간 날 보는 건 그리해. 반대쪽 다리를 가져. Girl, I'm gonna go insane. 전반은 마주친 순간 That's why Stop. 너와는 텅 빈 우주.
I did watch the MV already, Connie.
Yes, you're the one on one. But I get it, you feel it. 상상해버려서 난 우려더래. 가까워져나 넌 몰래. Baby, I'll be sliding up on your yeah. 이제 finally 하나 둘 셋 내 count it up, baby. I'm crazy. I think I'm sick, do you feel me? Yeah. 내가 더 좋은 네 시선에. Yeah, baby, you drive me crazy tonight. 오늘 밤 머리도 대신 가슴 밤새. Crazy. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Wanna look at the stars with you. 뭐든 네가 원하면 I do. Yeah. My people don't understand. 난 잃어버려 어느새. 내 앞에서 있는 너. Your style is fine. Stop. 난 look what you made me do. 우리 사이 chemistry. 두 배건 집어지고. 너와 나의 호흡은 어때? Girl, really be on my mind. 나 무렇진 않은 척만 다가가서 말해 네가 듣고 싶은 말.
FL Senatone he does it do so smoothly. I love it.
But I get it, you feel it. 상상해버렸어 그렇게 오래 뜨거워져 너란 존재 Baby I'll be sliding up on you, yeah 이제 finally 하나 둘셋넷 count it up, baby I'm crazy 올라뛴 검색 뒤져 filming, yeah 내가 늦어진 네 시선에, yeah Baby you drive me crazy tonight 내 밤머리도 해 실룩한 밤새 모든 불빛이 사라진 밤 결국 네 옆에 서 있을게 I know how you feel it 보여 내 눈엔 이제 숨기지 마 본심을 꺼내 Baby I'm crazy tonight Baby I'm crazy I think I'm sick, do you feel me? 눈 갇혀서 네 시선에 Yeah baby you drive me crazy tonight 내 밤머리도 돼 I'm crazy, finally crazy Crazy Maybe it's good to be crazy isn't it baby? Baby I'm crazy 네 밤머리도 돼 실루엣은 밤새 Crazy
All right, very cool. That was Haechan's Crazy. Very nice. I have checked this one out. I'll preface, if you would like to watch that, you can feel free to click on the previous videos. I have already watched the MV for this one. I was gonna comment. Udi says still Timberlakey, still good. I agree, still Timberlakey, still good. Also was giving a little bit of Jungkook's 3D, you know, similar, not similar, obviously in that capacity, but same ballpark. I enjoyed this one a lot. I'll keep my commentary brief on this. I enjoy the song. I think it sounds even better. I don't know if that is, again, just a trend of enjoying it on Spotify and enjoying like the depth of the song, but this was really good. I feel like this one, very similarly to Camera Lights, he's like, his vocals are insane. Like, I just think that this one, like, he was able to do a lot more of those like higher register vocal runs, where I feel like Camera Lights was like a little bit more subtle in that aspect. I think that contrast was very cool. He's got, again, like I've said it before, his register is insane. But man, it was so cool to see like how cool his vocal runs were in this song, in a more unadulterated fashion. But yeah, this was a phenomenal song. I still think that this one will be a hard one to beat on this album, in my opinion. It's just so good. Like, there's just something nostalgic about it, but also like Haechan's performance of this is just incredible too. So very nice. Unhee said absolutely to my Jungkook comment, and Connie says unfortunately he is now on a 6-month hiatus. Oof. He's got to rest his voice. He's on he must have like a bad vocal condition. Oh, well, hopefully, positive affirmations. Hopefully he heals quickly. So very nice. Let's keep it rolling. We've got Adrenaline next. So let's give it a listen.
Yeah, it's adrenaline, it's adrenaline, yeah. 빛바랜 도시는 black 내겐 익숙하지 핸들을 잡고 또 밟아도 better ride it 속도를 올려 0부터 100이면 100한 없지 automatic 마침내 연결된 너와 나 멈추지 마 Vroom, pedal to the metal 불러 날 원원 지루했던 밤에 사이렌을 울려 get loco double it 짙어지는 맥박에 발을 들여린 충분하지 불빛부터 버려 overloaded 내 밤에 끝막이 내리면 다시 rewind you make me lose control 돼서 run 몰아치는 내 맘에 I feel the rush adrenaline You know beyond the 빠져드는 rush adrenaline 떨리는 순간 찰나 속에 You adrenaline yeah I drink 넌 불 꺼져도 난 더 speeding up yeah I want more 발전해버릇처럼 시선은 내게로 너와 난 도시속 pilot 날아가 멋지게 fly 그는 말한 순간부터 난 채워져 가득해 feeling so high you know lose control dreams of run 몰아치는 내 맘에 I feel the rush adrenaline you know beyond the 빠져드는 rush adrenaline 떨리는 순간 찰나 속에 burning so bright 이 자극 속에 취하는 날 익숙하지만 낯선
Wow.
그런 feeling can't deny lose control feel so good 몰아치는 내 맘에 I feel the rush adrenaline control I'm so
Wow, these are getting up there.
젖어버린 맘을 I feel the rush adrenaline You know 이제 멈출 수도 없지 rush adrenaline 위험해도 이가 남다른 You adrenaline yeah adrenaline yeah yeah I feel the rush yeah adrenaline yeah 달아오르는 숨결 느껴지는 rush adrenaline yeah
All right, very cool. This was track 3, Adrenaline. Very nice. I like the instrumental. I thought it was very like punchy in all the right ways. I like the synth and like the structure of the song. I think it's very good. I noticed that like especially with these 3 songs back to back, like I definitely feel like he kind of pulls from different avenues of like in that sort of like pop R&B kind of vibe. Like this is kind of giving me like a little bit, and not obviously 100%, but like it's kind of giving me a little bit of Usher vibes too, which is cool. I don't know if I would have never I don't know if I would have placed that sort of stylization in K-pop, but like I feel like R&B and that's I feel like there is a little bit of crossover to that. So I thought it was really cool. I like the synths and how like bright they are, and I think it matches up really well with Haechan's voice because he's got obviously a very large register to fit. And I think when I think of Haechan, I'm like, oh, I think of his really kind of like more high, like treble based tones. So it was cool that this kind of had like a little bit more of his like mid-range tone, which I don't feel like we get as much of. So it was cool to see kind of a variation on his vocals more so in that section. I also really thought the chorus was pretty infectious about the song. I was curious how he was gonna break up adrenaline to make it seem a little bit more catchy, and I think he did a pretty damn good job. I don't know how I would have put that together in terms of a breakdown for that, but I thought it was really good. I think the part that sold me the most about the song was definitely the bridge of the song. I think the bridge was one of my favorite parts of the track. I think that the other moments were really good in the song, but like I definitely felt like I was taken a little bit more aback in that bridge section. So I definitely liked it a lot. Again, I probably put this amongst the favorites. Like the top 3 are like the first 3 songs. So I'm curious how I'm going to feel about the tracks that are a little bit later on. But I think it's a strong start, certainly. So I definitely appreciate that a ton. So I'm curious how much variation we're going to get from Haechan. I feel like we definitely could see it. I can envision it, but I haven't listened to it yet. So I'm curious. But Connie says my favorite song, and also said that the song is very catchy. I would agree. So very nice. We're going to move on to Love Beyond next. So let's check it out.
Girl, I've known you for a long time. When you gonna give me
Nice.
what I want? Come on. 아득해 모든 논란 I'm begging ooh yeah I'm begging ooh yeah baby Until you're okay 다 틀림없게 아찔한 느낌 파고들지 자석처럼 끌린 힘도 경고리 ooh yeah 완전히 ooh yeah baby 밤샘을 밀어 우리 하늘 밀어 baby 온통 너로 달것 겁이 날 손에 내면 펼쳐질 비밀 숨고를 틈 없이 눈빛도 놀라 입술이 말라붙고 갈증 속에 타올라 Take you on a high 따라붙는 전율 속에 Right now baby 제발 높은 상상을 해 아직 낯선 이 순간 I want you on me 네가 받아달라고 beyond 제발 또렷한 이밤 Let me so good 결국 평온이 Let's take it beyond Cause I just can't take it Just can't take it no more No more I want you tonight I want you tonight 달콤한 소리만 공연한만 You know it ooh yeah 네 세계는 왜 또 어지럽게 끝이 없는 블랙 끝을 사이 번진 호흡 속 널 감는 꿈에 녹아 단숨에 baby 네 쫓지는 난더 미치는 중 열린 미지로 떠나 순간 넌 비밀을 펼쳐낼 준비 순간 느끼게 널 지배할 열망 눈앞이 하얀 지금 엔딩 따위 몰라 그래도 이른 highway 나를 삼켜버릴 세계 Right now baby 원한 만큼 빨라질 pace 아직 낯선 이 순간 I want you on me 네가 받아달라고 beyond Take it beyond 제발 또렷한 이밤 Let me so good 결국 평온이 Let's take it beyond Cause I just can't take it Just can't take it no more Boom, but gotta beat up no more Beat up Baby we should be making Boom, but gotta beat up them But gotta be done 순간 짜릿함이 뱉어 Boom, but gotta beat up 푹 닫아야 Can't take it no more I want you baby Boom, but gotta beat up 선이 넘은 이 순간 All the things I wanna do 잠을 잃어버린 밤 Leaving you only 따라만 해도 전혀 beyond 너로 가득 찰 시간 So good girl tell me Let's take it beyond Cause I just can't take it Just can't take it no more No more I want you tonight I want you tonight No more I want you tonight
All right, cool. This was track 4, Love Beyond. Very nice. If you're listening, we are checking out Haechan's Taste album. So, I think this one was very good in terms of the instrumentation. I really enjoyed that a ton. I think what I'm starting to notice so far, and this is not a diss to Haechan, and I hope that it's not taken that way, but I feel like his music is very much in a particular pocket. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that I'm not saying like his ad libs and stuff are any less desirable, I guess, in terms of these songs, but I do find that like the only thing that really kind of separates these songs from the other, like another song, right, is just the instrumentation. Like, I think that Haechan kind of takes a similar approach in terms of like ad-libbing and doing vocal runs and stuff, where I'm like, I think I would be more excited in terms of if there was like a different way that these songs were approached vocally, right? Like, I think that this song obviously is very rhythm based. It is very rhythmic, right? Like the vocals, like the way that the way that the song kind of moves in the track is like, his voice is going to sit well in the way that the song is written. But I find that the way that he attacks the song is in a particular way where I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to do like this really kind of more like higher falsetto tone or things of that nature. And I kind of am like, I enjoy it. I think he's a very talented vocalist. I know I couldn't do it, but I find that the approach and the way that he kind of attacks the song is very similar to some of the other ways that he has kind of gone about the vocals in this album thus far. Now, that is not to say that there aren't, there aren't ways for him to kind of branch out vocally, but what I've noticed is there's like, I think he's very talented. I think their team in terms of the writing has been really great. I just find that like there is like a sameness to like the way that he sings some of these songs where I'm like, if I could replace the vocals from like Crazy and put them in Love Beyond, and I could put Love Beyond's like vocals into Crazy, like what is really going to differentiate them to me as a listener? And if you're if a Haechan bias, you're just gonna be eaten. You're gonna love it. But I think for me, as someone who like loves to listen to, artists in their veritable forms, I find that like there is a perspective where I'm like, I really kind of wish Haechan would explore maybe like his lower register, because we know he obviously can sing in a higher tonality. So like I think it would be a good opportunity for there to be a different variation. So that's my a little bit tough critique, but I think he's a phenomenal vocalist. I don't like I said, I don't need to feel that I have to love all of his songs, but I do find that the way that he's been singing them, I'm like, wow, he could have gone something different, or the variation could have been different in my opinion. But Connie says, yeah, I agree with you. Ooh, okay. Very interesting. All right. Well, we're going to keep it moving. The next one is Roll With Me. So let's check it out.
5, 6, 7.
근슬에 기분이 좋은 날 Easy breezy vibe 도심을 완벽히 벗어나 오직 너와 나 설렘으로 완성된 무들만의 리듬 따라 One, two, 발을 맞춰 Baby 어디로 가는지 중요하진 않아 지금 기분을 taste it 이대로 다 좋으니까 I need you to roll with me 떠나자 어디든지 멀리 멀리 둘이 복잡한 도시를 뒤로하고 우린 솔직해진 마음을 따라가지 착한 소금들은 뮤트해 오늘이란 낭만을 쫓게 사라져갈 순간을 놓치지 않아 Just roll with me hey, Let's run, have a little fun 너무 좋은 날씨 어딜 가도 love 쏟아지는 sunlight 저기 다른 덤 Heart go boom boom beating like a drum 미친 척 우리 hey, 지구 끝까지 닿을 만큼 shouting 다른 건 지워버린 듯이 꼭 서로가 전부인 것 같아 You know 그림대로 완성된 무대 둘만의 리듬 따라 One more 맘을 맞춰 Baby 어디에 닿는지 중요하진 않아 우리 둘이 나란히 서서 이 시간을 즐기잖아 I need you to roll with me 떠나자 어디든지 멀리 멀리 둘이 복잡한 도시를 뒤로하고 우린 Oh baby 끌리는 그대로 걸린 소리 리듬에 맞춰 chillin' feeling Babe 우리만의 이야기를 더하지 Yeah yeah
Nice harmonies.
복잡한 노래 착한 소금들은 뮤트해 오늘이란 낭만을 쫓게 사라져갈 순간을 놓치지 않아 Just roll with me 이렇게 너와 난 돌고 돌아 Oh na 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 na
All right, very cool. This was track 5 and is called Roll With Me. Very nice. Connie says, I have seen a lot of people have this song as their top number 1 song. Not my fave, but still a nice song. I would agree with you. I enjoyed this a lot. I would probably put this, for right now, I probably put this amongst my favorites. I definitely liked it. I think it kind of takes the cues of what my commentary of Love Beyond was, where I think this is not as, I feel like this song was not as atypical as I would imagine it to be, right? You know what I mean? Like the song started off in a particular way, and I was like, okay, this is definitely a little bit more somber, a little bit more chill. And I like that. I think there is a different side of Haechan in the song that I think I really appreciate, and I can understand why people would consider this to be one of their favorites on this release, because I think it's very different. It's got, like, again, more of a like coffee house jazz sort of feel to it. Definitely was kind of giving, like, maybe not like a main song from Silk Sonic, but definitely kind of in that same sort of register, which is like that kind of like R&B pop. Silk Song is the Bruno Mars Anderson .Paak group, for those who are uninitiated. But I liked it. I loved like the drumming in the song, very dynamic. The vocals were really good. There's a lot of good harmony sections in this song as well, which I think I appreciate. And, you know, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of usage of kind of like his more mid-range tone, because obviously I don't expect him to go into kind of a super low register that would make sense for him. But I do feel like this played a lot more with his tonality of his voice. I do really like kind of that mid-range tone. It's got like this sweetness to it that I really appreciate, and I don't feel like it is as apparent in like his higher register. So that was really cool. Again, I think the song was incredibly well written. So I think it really highlights Haechan in a different light than I feel like previous songs have. So I really love that. But overall, this one's definitely, like I said, amongst my favorites. I just love the smoothness of it, and I think it worked really well with this track. So very good song. Like I said, amongst my favorites, 100%. So very nice. We're going to check out Intermission next, which if there isn't too much, then I'll move on to Talented. But let's check out Intermission next. Great violins. Wow. And like that kind of like Moog synth. Very nice.
One, two, three. I don't care who's watching. Let them remember this moment. I'm not living till I kill them all. Every last one. You ready?
I think we're just gonna roll right into the Talented, guys.
I'm ready. I'm gravity.
Interesting.
쉽게 널 끌어당겨 끌어당겨 따라오면 돼 더 다가와 다른 생각은 비워 Let you know 얼마든지 시험해 답이 뭔지 한 끗 차이 알아 난 One second you're forward I'm that talented Just come to be 타고난 못 풀린 finally 빠져들지고 내게로 아슬아슬한 선을 넘어 now 이끌어져 비교 마치 제꿈 너 뭘 해도 달라 난 느껴 느껴본 more talented. Don't play with me. 다들 말해 내가 뻔할 거라 제대로 have you ever seen? 완전히는 play 가벼운 적 없어 이 감정 앞에선 feel more. Let you know girl. 설명 없이 충분해 그게 뭔지 이미 훤히 보여나. One second I'm that talented Just want to be 타고난 못 풀린 the finally 빠져들지고 내게로 아슬아슬한 선을 넘어나 미끄러져 위험하지 제꿈 너 해도 달라 난 느껴본 more I know you 눈빛만으로도 느껴져 강하게 널 향해 발을대는 순간
Great Chris, wow.
날 바라봐 지금 모든 것은 slow 순간 다가올 듯이 또 물러서 왠지 애태워도 싫지 않지 심장이 빰빰빠라바밤 I'm that talented Just want to be 타고난 못 풀린 the finally 빠져들지고 내게로 시선을 끄는 법을 알아 난 내게 맡겨 눈을 떼지 못해 너 해도 달라 난 느껴본 more I'm that talented Just want to be 타고난 못 풀린 the finally 빠져들지고 내게로 아슬아슬한 선을 넘어 나 미끄러져 위험하지 제꿈 너 해도 달라 난 느껴본 more talented.
All right, very cool. That was Intermission and Talented. Very nice. Guggy says best intermission I've heard on an album is from The Offspring, and their Lixnay on the Ombre album. Okay, very interesting. I haven't listened to Offsprings in forever, so I'll have to do that. Go back. Connie says I like this one. Top 4 for me. Very nice. I also really enjoyed this one a lot. I would say that dynamically, this is the most interesting so far. I really love that kind of like slap bass that they have going on. Very groovy, very riffy. I enjoyed that a lot. And Haechan's vocals in this were very different. I like that this one has him kind of doing like a lot of vocal bends, which I don't feel like I have heard him as much doing in either his, normal material with NCT, in the many groups that he's a part of in NCT. But I thought this was very cool. I think, like, again, I know I was ragging on him in track 4, which, I'll still stand by. But I do feel that vocally, like, there's a lot more dynamics at play now. You know what I mean? Like, I think there was a lot more, like, interesting things going on where I was, like, not really expecting where his vocals would go. And I appreciate kind of, like, a little bit more of his, he's talented. No pun intended, So I really was kind of hoping that there was going to be a lot of vocal dynamics in this song. I would say probably the part that encapsulated me the most about the song was definitely the bridge. That bridge vocally was really cool. The instrumentation there was also really good as well. But it really makes for an extremely memorable song in the bridge. So I would definitely say this is amongst the top songs on the album. I think I'm gonna have to get through the rest of the last 4 here, but I enjoyed this one a lot. This was definitely a good one. So the next one is track 8, and this is WYN, and this features Hot On. So very nice. Let's check it out.
What's your name? No one told it I'm a talented. 다른 애들과는 play no games. 가만히 멈추는 heart 타버리는. What's your name? No one told it I'm a talented. 다른 애들과는 play no games. 가만히 멈추는 heart 타버리는 내 맘을 너에게 전해. 걱정 따위 날려버려 in the air. Tell me what's your name. 망설이지 말고 shoot. 맘에 던져보지 too, baby what's your name. 뭔가 다른 밤에네. 가슴에 맘을 rockin' it. Taste sweet like a chocolate. 묘한 끌림에 계속 널 찾게 돼. 다가서는 순간 a minute. 어디서 느낀 적 없는 feeling. 말해 뭐해 너란 dream. Thinking about you every night. 물러가는 입술 무너진 bruise. It's just the way your body moves. 난 숨이 턱 막히는 걸. Cause I'm caught up in your face. What's your name? 너와 둘이라면 down with it.
Yeah, of course hits.
play no games. 가만히 멈추는 heart. 타버리는 내 맘을 너에게 전해. 걱정 따위 날려버려 in the air. Tell me what's your name. 망설이지 말고 shoot. 맘에 던져보지 too. What's your name?
Give me the vibe, give me the ice. 기다리다가 내게로 가서 물어봤어. You're like hip-hop, hip-hop. 도미노같이 연습 4D 너의 집과 입장과 함께 시간이 멈춰버려. 틱톡, 틱톡. Yeah. 아무도 없어 내게 이런 모멘텀을 준 건. Round the one, the one 끝나서 바로 던져 수건. 까무러쳐서 눈부셔서 like a diamond, diamond alone. My body, but I'm bullet like a
자극적인 눈빛 나를 see through. I like the way your body moves. 더 이상 못 버티겠어. Wanna hear you scream my name. What's your name? 너와 둘이라면 down with it. 다른 애들과는 play no games. 가만히 멈추는 heart. 타버리는 내 맘을 너에게 전해. 걱정 따위 날려버려 in the air. Tell me what's your name. 망설이지 말고 shoot. 맘을 던져보지 too, baby what's your name. 넌 너만을 원해 노래. Bad 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 머리부터 발끝까지. Wow 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 be wild. Girl you know be wildin' yeah. Clap 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 너와 나를 위한 party. Tap 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 아침에 같을 때까지. Wow 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 be wildin'. What's your name? 너와 둘이라면 down with it. 다른 애들과는 play no games. 가만히 멈추는 heart. 타버리는 내 맘을 너에게 전해. 걱정 따위 날려버려 in the air. Tell me what's your name. 망설이지 말고 shoot. 맘을 던져보지 too, baby what's your name.
All right. Very cool. This was Haechan and Haechan and their song What's Your Name from the album Taste from Haechan's newest album. Very nice. This was a banger. I enjoyed this one a lot. Haechan was great. I think his feature was sick. I liked his rapping tone. And I feel like this chorus is extremely infectious. It just, like I feel like it is a very familiar sound, and maybe that's probably why I enjoy it. Again, Connie says the song is very early NCT 127, and I love it. And I could see that for sure. But I just think there is a level of catchiness to this song that is just like unmatched. Like, you know what I mean? Like just the What's Your Name, like vocal riff, just like sticks. I don't know why, but like it's just got this earworm quality to it that I really appreciate. But yeah, I just think the song is just like was immediately infectious. Like the instrumentation was fun. I think like the song itself is very dynamic. And I think obviously matched up with like a really good chorus and, two great vocalists. Like I think, it kind of sealed the deal on this song for me. I could listen to this probably like at least 5 or 10 more times. So, I'm not going to run it back, but if I was not streaming, I probably would run this song back because I enjoyed it. So very nice. Very nice. Connie said, this is my second fave. And yeah, it is so catchy. I would agree. So very nice. We are moving it along. The next one is track 9 and it should be. So check it out. Piano player cooking right now. Love to see it.
어쩌면 낮았을지 But it takes another 열말 어떤 날이 좀 덜 아팠을까 드라마에 하루도 잘만 갔던 우리 추억이 매일 꿈에 날 자꾸 껴안아서 에서 돌아서지 않았었던 내 옆 자리 널 봐 I can be done 난 너와 달리 아직도 널 비울 자신 자신 없어. Why do I want you back? 길었던 프레이즈의 끝에서 멍하니 반복해도 다다다. 난 빌어 네 많은 밤이 너와 같기를 should be whole. Every day I cry but try. 이제 I know should've never said bye. Oh yeah yeah yeah. 남겨둔 네 이름이 적힐 때 blank. 알아볼 수 없게 흐려진 words in tears. 넌이 버릇처럼 못해 I. 둘만의 day에 홀로 anniversary. What should I do stupid story. 또 내일이 fall in love. 시간을 되돌릴 수 있다면 우리 can be done. 난 너와 달리 아직도 널 지울 자신 없어. Why do I want you back? 끝없는 매일의 꿈에서 다시도 반복되는 run run run. 난 빌어 네 많은 밤이 너와 같기를 should be whole. Every day I cry but try. 나는 I should've never said bye. 지금 이런 내 모습이 네 마지막 같아. Even more 휘몰아칠 듯한 노래 잠기는 밤. 영원하자던 약속 기억한다면 then you should be here. 내 세상엔 없어 love is true. Realize there was a lie.
Wow.
달빛난 난 너와 달리 너는 채울 방법이 없어. Can I take you back? 반복될 페이지 끝에서 멍하니 마침표만 닿았다. 또 비로소 많은 별에 내게 닿기를 should be Every day I pray and cry. 아직도 난 could we ever be.
That's gross. Wow. All right, very cool. This was Haechan's Should Be. If you're hanging out, thank you for hanging. I love this one. Y'all know I'm a big K R&B fan, so I feel like this one is well up my wheelhouse in terms of songs. And I feel like Haechan just was like the feral beast let out of the box with this one. There's just so much like vocal nuance in this song that I just really appreciate. I think his voice really lends super well into that R&B space. So I think this was a cool way of showing that off. I also wanted to give a shout outs to the production, and whoever was doing like a lot of the instrumentation for this song, because they, along with Haechan, absolutely crushed it. I think the instrumentation like matched his energy in terms of just doing like ad libs and like just adding a lot of like extra instrumentation to the song. And so I really do appreciate that, because I think not only does his voice shine, but I feel like the instrumentals are so complementary to how strong his vocals are in the song. So I really love that a lot. But yeah, there is just so much good vocal riffing going on in this song. And by the end of it, I was like, I love that they kind of added like different vocal nuances throughout the song, like especially towards the end. I felt like that was where everything kind of culminated to good final piece. But this was just an incredible song. I think this one it has to be amongst my favorites that I've heard on this album so far. I know this probably is not one that I feel like most people would pick, but I love this one. It was just so gratifying to hear his voice in that capacity. I feel like he absolutely crushed it. So great song. This was awesome. So let's move into track 10, and I'll probably do track 11 since it looks like it's an outro. So we are doing Gray Rain and outro back in the studio. So check out both.
짙어진 회색 거리에 난 눅눅하게 잠겨 그냥 그렇게 애매해 내 창문을 두드리는 raindrop raindrop 텅 비어있는 내게 내려 차가운 비는 그칠 줄을 모르고 어느새 흐려져 daylight view 잿빛 도시로 화려했던 날이 하얗게 발에 먼지로 날려 불 꺼진 네온 사인 뒤로 무채색 감정들 표정을 잃어버린 나는 가만히 잠겨 고여있어 나를 삼켜버린 gray 한참 쏟아지는 gray ray에 번져가는 gray 비가 내려 gray rain gray rain yeah. 유난히 늘어지는 날엔 나만 그늘진 걸까 그런 생각에 가진 채 쓸쓸해지는 걸 점점 진해져가는 회색 얼룩 그 외로움에 잠겨 젖어버리고 어느새 흐려져 daylight view 잿빛 도시로 화려했던 날이 하얗게 발에 먼지같이 불 꺼진 네온 사인 뒤 무채색 감정들 표정을 잃어버린 나는 가만히 잠겨 고여있어 나를 삼켜버린 gray 한참 쏟아지는 gray ray에 번져가는 gray 비가 내려 gray rain gray rain yeah. 바라던 만큼 가고 마음은 조금 바래서 그렇게 흐려지는 게 어쩌면 내게 필요했던 위로 내리는 비에 젖어 얼룩은 없었단 듯이 That's my gray 따라따라두 따라따라따라두 따라따라따 나를 삼켜버린 gray 한참 쏟아지는 gray gray 날 닮은 gray 쏟아지는 gray rain gray rain 내려와 gray gray 번져가 gray gray 쏟아지는 gray 내 맘을 적셔오는 gray
Nice harmonics at the end. That's cool. Interesting. All right. Very interesting. All right, this was Gray Rain and outro. Very nice, very nice. Gray Rain was very nice. I did enjoy it. I think to keep it kind of brief-ish, I like when artists do like just vocals and guitar or vocals and piano or what have you. There's something very clean about it, and I really do appreciate it because again, Haechan's got really great vocals. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was very nice. It was a cool kind of way to highlight his vocals in a different way than some of the other songs have kind of highlighted it before it. But yeah, I enjoyed it overall. The guitar work was incredible as per usual, but um, definitely a solid one. I don't feel like I got a lot of critiques on it. I just think it was really well put together. So Connie says, Haechan is a smooth criminal. All I can say, that's all I can say about Haechan. Very nice. And they said, this is my third favorite in regards to Gray Rain. So very nice. The outro was a little weird, not in like a bad way. Just I just feel like he could have done without it if I'm being honest. But that's my personal opinion. So favorites off this release, I feel like Should Be is definitely probably probably up there with my favorite. I think it would be a very close tie to um WIN and Crazy. I feel like those two definitely were strong contenders. I also enjoyed Adrenaline, and I would say Camera Lights were amongst my favorites from this album. So Connie says, "Yeah, I think my favorite part is that was just vocals with guitars. Some of my favorite NCT sides are like this song. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, that would be my personal favorites from Haechan's debut album. So very nice, very nice. So thanks y'all for hanging out. I must retire to sleep. Uni says, very solid album. Enjoy pretty much everything. We'll definitely give another spin at some time. Very nice. Um, I don't know what we are doing Wednesday. I believe that Jazz is out for the week from what they had mentioned to me in the DMs. So we will probably be doing something else. The only thought that I had for those who are still in chat, I was thinking, so my partner showed me like one of those videos where like somebody plays a song and then like you stand to a certain side of like which one you enjoy. But I was thinking like it would be interesting to do like a this or that with K-pop, or like I saw someone online post about like if you did a this or that with like pop music. So I don't know if that's like a future idea, but I feel like that would be really cool. Um, Connie says, "Oh, save one, drop one is fun." Yeah, okay. This we're chat's cooking with me on this one. Um, I feel like that would be pretty interesting. I'd be curious to see where I kind of land on that. Kaylee says there are lots of videos out there for K-pop too. Okay, good to know. Good knowledge. But yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, that would be cool. I know we've got a couple. I know we've got a couple game streams planned for like this sort of stuff. So that would be interesting. But Kelly says that could be fun to do because we can all do it. That is true. Chat can do it. That'd be sick. Um, but yeah, that was it. And then I had this really ambitious idea of doing. We'll probably do it in March, but like March Madness. I know people do like their brackets and stuff. I feel like it would be cool to do like a K-pop March Madness where we like put a bracket together. I think that'd be sick. Um, no, Santa says make work for your mods on the pulse. Oh no, I appreciate them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that would be sick. I feel like that's what I was thinking. I thought that was like my brain candy moment was like, oh, you know what? That'd be kind of sick if we did like a K-pop March Madness bracket. I feel like that'd be rad. So we'll have to plan it out. That'd be sick. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing Wednesday. I know Connie has sent me BAP So we could do BAP. We could start BAP on Wednesday. So I'll probably be putting a poll out for Wednesday stream. So let me know. But now just remember that I'll keep it in mind. I could always go back and watch this. So let's see. It says I could hope I can get on the next album. That's true. That's true. Sorry we didn't do yours over the weekend. Oh, that was hopefully you enjoyed your wedding, no Santa, but or the wedding y'all went to. But very cool. That's all I've got. So most of the content, at least for Patreon, I think is updated. I think I have a few videos I have to post. And then YouTube is going to get updated as well. So that's the plan. I will make a poll. If y'all can vote, that'd be sick. And if you're new, join the Discord. Love to see you. This Saturday I will not be free. I took off. My partner and I are doing something for the weekend, so I will not be free. But bonus is that they will be busy the next Saturday, like all day. So I'll be having a bigger stream the following Saturday. So I'll keep y'all posted just so I know people forget a lot of shit, myself included. So that would be it. So we'll figure it out. We'll get everybody sorted. Try to keep in track of everybody, what's going on. So thanks, y'all. Have a good night. I need to sleep. We'll see you on next stream Wednesday. So peace.